The goat flew over the moon.
Goat float? I like goat float.
Goat float.
Like a goat in an inner tube, just like with a Mai Tai, just like floating down the channel, you know?
That does sound kind of nice, doesn't it?
That sounds nice for me. I would like to do that. Hell with the goat. Yo,
Float
yo,
down the
yo,
river.
YouTube, you're back here again. So you must not have gotten your fill of us yet. So we appreciate you returning. Um, we will try to continue to bring exciting, new, fresh entertainment each and every week. 8 Central Standard Time, live. Charlie, JC3 Cards and Collectibles, and a bunch of goats.
Lots of goats.
10 of goats. What did we call them again? A murder? Murder of goats?
No. Oh.
Block?
Well, someone did say there can only be one. There's
Herd.
only one goat.
A herd, right?
But murder is crows. It's
Yeah.
a herd of goats, I believe.
Yeah, it's a herd.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got.
That's our Wild Kingdom segment.
I'm sorry?
That's our Wild Kingdom segment.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't have birds. I don't do birds. Birds are crazy to me. It's the only thing on our planet that flies. There's got to be something wrong with that. And some bugs, but.
It's funny how things happen to you and it sticks with you your whole life. I remember being a kindergartner. Yeah, kindergartner.
So like last year.
Yeah. And riding my bike, I lived in Waterford, Wisconsin, right along the beautiful shores of Lake Michigan. And a bird crapped on me.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I still have trauma from it.
I refuse to be friends with anything that has the higher ground above me.
Right? There you go.
And the birds have that all the time. So me and birds, we're not a thing.
Yeah, birds are a different type of animal. Literally.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not here for us. They survived some wacky. They were supposed to be wiped out and they weren't, and now we have to deal with them still. So some people think they're not real.
What?
Yeah, that they're just like 5G units and they have to recharge and all this stuff.
Oh yeah, they're like spies.
The 5G birds, yeah. Yeah, they're like undercover drones, you know.
Yeah, I have heard that. Interesting concept.
Mm-hmm. Yep, big time. All right, so we got some treats for y'all tonight. We know you love Hobby or No, which is the Midwest version of Hobby or No. Birds are not real. See, Joe agrees.
He knows what's up.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got some Hobby or No tonight. I think we've got a few other things we want to talk about if we can fit it in, but we know that Hobby or No can take over, so we don't want to stress and make that game less than what it needs to be. So absolutely. I'm sure many of you are here for that. I just posted in the Discord that we were doing Hobby or No tonight. And you say Discord? What Discord? Well, there happens to be a link right along the bottom there coming through. Click on that sucker and join. It's free. Good information in there. Charlie does a lot of tech talk.
This is my Io Sky impression for the wrestling fans out there.
Yeah, we all just help each other in there. Talk about successes, share our sales, our pickups, things like that. Questions we have with scanning, selling, eBay. List goes on and on. All right. What Hobby or No are we doing? I don't think I ever got that out of you. What sport?
Well, we had a request at the last one for one of the more relevant sports right now, baseball.
Soccer? Oh.
Ha! You wish. No, as I turn off the TV with the World Baseball Classic going on and looking good for the American team and pool play right now. Baseball's pretty relevant right now. We got spring training going on. Just a couple weeks away from full kick.
How about Team USA maybe getting booted out of the tournament by Italy, huh? Oh, you're quiet. I got no sound. So yeah, They have some good players. I mean, Jack Caglione, I was impressed with him. It's the first time I've seen him play. So I think Italy's. I don't think they were as good as they should have been. And Mark DeRosa, I believe, kind of screwed it up, thinking they were automatically in and didn't really care in that game. And you know, he's a rookie coach. So
How about now?
there you go. I can hear you now. So
I can't hear you though.
you know, I think he
What
just
the
made
heck?
some big mistakes, and he just didn't take the game
Okay.
seriously enough. And then he started to come back, and it just wasn't enough. But yeah, so I don't know. That tournament could get interesting. It'd be fun to have like Italy and Japan as like the finals or something. I mean, Japan, I guess, is supposed to sort of be there, but like, or well, I think Mexico's out. Are they out now? I don't know. I have to think about it, but because I don't follow that real close. But yeah, the games have been fun to watch. It's cool to see like basically an all-star team for each country playing, and seeing players who play in the Major League Baseball regular season now playing for like a their own home country. And I like that kind of stuff. I think it's fun. Soccer kind of goes that way. Like you have your league play or your your team that you're on, and then when the world tournaments come up, the World Cup is the obvious one, which is going to be in about 2 months. Then you go play for your country, and I think that's fun. It's kind of like Olympics for inside that sport. So I think the World Baseball Classic is every 4 years, 3 years, 4 years. So we haven't had one in a bit, so it's fun to watch. I'm enjoying it anyway, the bit that I've seen. Um, oop, looks like Charlie might be back. Well, where'd he go?
We're both
There
hitting
he
the
is.
button at the same time.
Yeah, I see that. So we were just talking about a little bit about the World Baseball Classic, and how it's only on every 4 years, and they're kind of patterning soccer, right? So everybody has like their team that they play on, in the regular Major League Baseball
Sure.
business, and then when this tournament comes around, then you play for your country.
Mhm.
So it's like a mini Olympics for just within the sport. And I think it's fun. I think it's good for the game. It's fun for the players. We have a lot of players in Major League Baseball who come here who don't even speak the language, right? Because you've got the Japanese players, you've got the Dominican players, you've got Mexican players, the Italians. I don't even know Jack Caglione. Does Jack Caglione live in Italy? I think lives in America,
No,
right? He just has
no.
Italian
Most
descent, so he plays there
most
for
of them
Italy.
don't live in the country they play for.
Well, but I mean, is he like truly Italian? Like, does he speak Italian, and that's where he's from, kind of thing?
I'm pretty sure he speaks fluent espresso, linguini, all that stuff.
I mean, I do too. I can talk to you about
There you go.
linguini all day long.
Yeah,
So
that's what I need.
anyway, I think it's fun to watch. We'll have to see where it goes, but yeah, I mean, if the U.S. gets bounced early, that would be a shocker for sure.
Yeah, and when I switched off the TV, it was favorable for the U.S. to
Mhm.
advance in the pool play. So what they needed tonight to advance outright is for Italy to win tonight.
Right.
If Italy loses and Mexico wins, then it becomes a tiebreaker, and then it's like runs scored and runs against, and who knows how it shakes out then.
Yeah, so we just kind of want Italy to win so we can move on and reorganize and put actually our best players out there. And Bobby Witt, have you seen Bobby Witt's defense? Good God.
Yes.
He's like he's a monster out there. He can hit, he can dive,
he's elite. He's the real deal.
He's 5-tool player.
He's that is why this card is so amazing. Because Bobby
Yeah,
Witt
I picked up quite a bit of Bobby Witt today. I stopped and bought some stuff today, and I just keep buying them. I have buyers for it, and there's cool cards, and his stuff's not quite as expensive as Ohtani and Judge. Even their base cards are fairly expensive now, and
Mm-hmm.
So, Witt's just a great option. You can even find rookies at a decent price here and there too, lower
Mm-hmm.
end stuff. So, but we're gonna do a hobby or no
We are.
with baseball. So I think we'll just probably kick right off with that, unless anybody else has anything they want to bring up. Do we want to like maybe touch the chat a little bit first before we start
Yeah,
hobby or no?
11 cards in hobby or no tonight. So
Okay, that's a good amount.
yeah, we can run through the chat.
At least say
quick.
hi to everybody before we get.
Dan's here. He says birds leaked oil on Charlie. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think most people, if you spend any time outside, especially if you spend time outside where there is a big bird population, like a theme park or something like that, I would say most people at some point in their life got crapped on. It's almost impossible to avoid.
Do you think so? You
I
think
do.
it's that common?
I do. It's happened to me.
Yeah.
A couple times actually. Once when I was in
right on the top of the head. Right.
I got one. I was in my all black Shadow Trooper costume.
Yeah.
At Bay Beach, and yeah, I got a big one right down the arm.
Whoa.
So luckily it hit the plastic.
Asking for it.
That's my point. If you never go outside, sure, you probably never ran into a bird. If you live in, a concrete jungle area, maybe you don't, I suppose pigeons, but if you spend any time in a wooded area or something like that, if you're outside enough, you're gonna have a bird defecate on you for sure.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, if you think of the odds about it, right? There's so many birds and long life, sooner or later it's going to happen because it's just constantly falling from the sky.
Never trust birds.
Yeah, you can't trust them. Nope. Speaking of Bobby Witt, Dan says he bought some Bobby Witt on Sunday night from a really sick Whatnot stream bra.
Did you get any givvies? Did you get givvies?
Yeah, speaking of that, I joined your Whatnot show the other day.
You sure did.
I heard you talking about givvies on your Whatnot show.
I had to.
You've gone to the dark side.
Yeah. Well, I didn't do any. I didn't give anything away, but yeah, it's coming. We're still tweaking our process, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And ironically, I did. Well, I'll talk about that later. I have something else I want to bring up, but not at this time. Anyway, yeah, good job picking up some Bobby Witt. I'll have some more this Sunday. I'm switching my format because one of the things I learned about Whatnot is when you go buy, let's say you buy 5 cards, right? You get the combined shipping, which is great, but they charge you each card individually for the transaction. So you get that 30-cent financial fee every time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that just kills the profit on a $1 sale. So,
yeah.
Which is fine. I didn't lose money, but I didn't really make hardly anything either. So, I'm going to switch it up. It's going to be more player lots. Is probably my bigger focus. It'd be like 5 cards, $5, basically, is what I want to try to do.
Okay.
Because when I do what I've noticed in the shows that I've done is I'll have 5 or 6 buyers, and they'll each buy like 15 cards. So why not just make a 15 card lot that a buyer is likely to be interested in and sell it for $15 and just have the 130-cent fee and be done with it. I started looking at time, and I think you can run through a lot more listings too if you have multiple cards. You can get more cards in if you're doing it as a multi-listing sale. So, so basically, I would do like a 5-card lot. It would still be a 1-ounce ship. So if you just bought the one lot, you'd still get it shipped cheap. And then if you bought a second lot, then you'd go to the package, but then it would be free after that for shipping.
All right.
So 2 lots or more, and you don't have to pay anything extra. So I think it makes some sense for the buyer as well to do it that way. So that's what I'm going to try, and we'll see what happens. So I picked up a bunch of stuff today, kind of under themes, right? Like I bought a bunch of Bobby Witt stuff, different variety. So I'll have a Bobby Witt lot, and and it's kind of a world baseball theme, if you will. So most of the players I bought were or being featured in that tournament, and
Yeah.
so it's kind of seems appropriate to do for a show
Yeah,
this
it's
week.
timely.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm shipping out less, single dollar, I'm not going to have any single card sales to ship out. It'll just be a little quicker on the ship side. If I don't get a bid, I don't get a bid. Then I got 5 cards I can list in the store. That's the beauty of doing both. I think it's really important to have static selling and live selling because you can kind of move them between each other based on, what sort of response you get with the types of items you're selling.
Yeah.
If I put a five card Bobby Witt lot up there and nobody wants to pay the $5 for it, I'll scan them and put them on my store and they'll sell right away there.
Right.
So that's my plan. We'll see how it goes. I did cross my minimum requirement for live shows to qualify for immediate payout on Whatnot.
Okay.
I still don't have enough items sold yet. I think I have 670 some items sold.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have 1,000. So it's still going to take me a little bit to hit that, especially if I'm starting to do them as lots. You'll have less sales, less individual sales, right, per show.
Mm-hmm.
Individual item listing sales, whatever you want to call it. But that's a goal. I want to hit that mark. I want to get that, Whatnot approved seller status thing or
Right.
whatever. And it'll help me with, the static selling on there and stuff too, which has really picked up for me. One of the things I want to do at the National this year is, we spent a lot of time over at Car Dealer Pro and working on stuff with them.
Yeah.
I've got all my stuff pretty much fixed. I mean, we all have the things that touch all of us that don't work well, canceled listings and not uploading to Whatnot right now or whatever, stuff like that. But
today.
yeah, and I didn't even have that problem, so I'm not sure where that went, but
something corrupted with the connection. I had to not delete the connection, but disconnect it, and then re-authenticate. Yeah,
I had to do that with the eBay. I think I mentioned this last time. I had to do that with the eBay on my second Car Dealer Pro.
Oh, okay.
Because they wanted to connect to my sports eBay store, so it automatically disconnected me from my non-sports store. And then I had to log out of the browser and bring up a different browser and log in as the non-sports store and then reconnect it.
Yeah.
The same thing. I didn't delete it. I just reconnected it and now it works fine. But
yeah.
Anyway,
it was interesting because first I just deleted the connection and that didn't do anything because then when you put it back, it just kind of pulls in the same connection you had before. Yep. It was just in the background. Yep. So you have to disconnect in order to.
Yeah, and that's what happened to me too. With same thing, it grabbed the wrong store, and then I tried to put in the other store, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Because I deleted it, I reconnected it, just automatically connected to the same store. So
yeah,
and it go in and yeah. Anyway, Car Dealer Pro, that's a fun little battle every day, with some of their stuff, but it's getting better and it's still worth the hassle. But back to Whatnot. This year at the National, I want to spend some more time going over and talking to those guys.
Okay.
Like to get a little bit more insight on what they're doing. I really want to be able to provide some feedback to somebody who would actually not just like somebody they hired to work the con, like talk to like an actual person at Whatnot,
like
if engineer. I can, and ask them about why they don't have the envelope shipping for the store sales. It drives me nuts.
Okay.
I still get a lot of sales on there, but I don't know why that buyer has to pay $5 shipping for a single card. It makes 0 cents.
Yeah.
And I know I could get more sales if that wasn't the case. So, I think it's going to be worth my effort and time to try to find somebody there that I can try to get some answers from, or at least, I'm sure it's been mentioned to them. I'm sure they're aware of it. But I feel like if enough of us keep bringing it up, it'll be something that they'll put some effort into.
Yeah, you got to keep banging that drum, right? If you want to drive some changes, or at least let them know that, hey, maybe you need to adjust your prioritization list of upcoming features that you're.
Well, I feel like I stand in a good place to be a person that brings it up. I mean, I have 60,000 cards listed on there. I am doing live shows, which is like the heart of their platform, right? They're doing a lot of advertising where they're saying, hey, if you can't find it on a a live show, go to stores and buy it. So like they can, they understand the cross value of, promoting inside itself from the live to the static and back and forth, but you don't provide the best value to that.
Right.
With the extra shipping, it's just foolish. So we all understand that. We all agree with that. So the only reason I bring it up is because that's something that's on my nationals list as I'm starting to build my project for that.
Yeah, speaking of which, we aren't too far away, right? Let's see, April, May, June, July. We're about just short of 6 months away, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I know your precious metal gems, huh?
It's going bye-bye.
So we recently secured our lodging. I didn't buy my ticket yet for the show, but we did secure some lodging, and we're trying something a little different this year.
Yeah, I'm still going to see if I can get a connected hotel room too. I think that'd be valuable even just to have.
Okay.
For during the day if we can get it. I don't have a lot of faith in it, but so I still keep checking that just to see. But I think it'll be nice to have like more of a house to be at with kitchen and things like that. As long as we're still close to, a Giordano's or a Lou Malnati's and a.
Well, they're everywhere, aren't they?
Kinda, yeah. Kinda. So, as long as we can still get to our places, we have to go because I don't go to Chicago unless I get to go to those places. Portillo's, right?
I mean, it's only 10 minutes away from the convention center, so
right.
Anywhere we needed to get to last year, we should be able to get to this year. But yeah,
I would think so.
So trying out like a vacation rental, we got a 3-bedroom, basically like duplex rented, so that we all got plenty of room, and my family will be coming down with us too for part of the trip. So it'll be good to have everything together, and I like the idea of having your own place. Can get up when you want and do some things, and having your own food there too. You don't always have to be running and things like that. You got a kitchen, you can prep some stuff if you want. So I know you won't, but I will.
No, I will. I'll make my mushroom coffee in the morning and have some food with me to prepare and stuff. Yeah. I mean, I've stayed in bed and breakfast before. It is nice. I like that part of it.
I'll be making some gem mint sliders every morning.
Gem mint sliders. Okay. Well, that sounds good. You put me down for one.
Little breakfast sausage sliders.
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what else we got in the chat?
Well, you flashed that little red gem there for a minute. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, this is a football card of Brett Favre, and it's a red one, and it's numbered out of 150. It's a 1997 Fleer Metal Precious Metal Gems. And found a buyer for it. I've had it listed for a couple of years at a at the time I listed it, a very high price. The price has started to creep closer to that number, and I'm starting to get offers. None of the offers were quite where I wanted it to be. I have a regular customer. Actually, he just bought a different card for me today too. Another graded card, PSA graded card. And we're working on something. I have to place a phone call to him in the morning to sort of finalize some things. Because we're going to do the deal on our own, save some money, and have a little bit more guarantee and a surety and so forth. He doesn't live here, but he comes here, so we just got to coordinate some things and put it together. But he's all in. He wants it, so because that was going to be my other national project, was grading that. Grading that this year. So how I kind of came up with the final accepted price, because obviously he paid less than what I had it listed for. There was a John Elway that sold PSA 7 right?
This one, this John Elway.
Yeah, that exact one. But the Jen Elway just sold like 2 weeks ago for $9,990. So I'm like, okay, 10 grand is they're usually like pretty on par with each other on price for stuff at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was comfortable with that. And it's a lot more than I paid for it. So there's that part too, right? You gotta take your profits, when you can. Now, if I wanted to hold my price that I had it listed at, probably could. I could wait another year or two and maybe get that price. But in the meantime, I'm missing out on things I can do with those funds.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
congratulations, man. That's a good sale.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been a fun card to have and hold on to, and I got it from a local collector who I bought other really rare cards from that I did grade, and they're all authentic and everything. So I have no doubts about the card, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
The one question my buyer had was, it hadn't been graded before and then cracked out, right? And I said, nope. I said, I know exactly where this guy came from. I picked it up in person. I know the person that had it. He had several other really rare Favre cards. He was a smart buyer. He bought the right stuff, and all legit. Everything that I have it's either been authenticated or graded or whatever. So, which I guess is the same thing.
Yeah.
So I told him, I said, I have absolutely zero doubts about the card. I probably wouldn't have bought it raw if there was some doubtability, right?
Yeah.
So it's always good when you know where something came from. Now, what's funny is this collector, when he passed away. Okay. So his collection ended up kind of getting dispersed because he had passed away. So I was dealing with his family really after that situation. I did make a video of this on this YouTube channel a long time ago of me actually buying the card in person. So, if you want the transparency, it's literally there, me handing over the cash. But he paid $50 for the card when he bought it, probably back somewhere in that time frame, 97, 98, 99, whatever. And Favre stuff was priced high at that time, right? He had just won a World Series. He just won a Super Bowl and MVP and all this good stuff. So he was probably like $50. That's more than a box of cards, right? Like back then, that was $50 was a lot, on a card. And then I know what I paid for it. Now I know what it's going to the new buyer. So it's pretty good gains on some of that stuff, right? It's a lot more than what you'd get in a stock market transaction, for example.
Yeah.
So there are times where cards can come out ahead for you over some other traditional investments.
For sure. And I had a similar sale, but at a smaller
the Jordan
buy-in. Yeah, the Fly High.
Ironically enough, it was a red foil, wasn't it?
It was the Fly High red foil, just like that precious metal gem. Yeah. So I flipped that the other day. Made a nice tidy profit on, a nice little a blaster, basically. I bought. So
and obviously that was real because you ripped it yourself. That's always kind of nice too on a card like that.
Right. I did see someone pulled an autograph Jordan out of those so far.
Yeah, there's 10 autographs, I believe. He signed 10 cards. I think they're on card too, right? Or they're on card, I believe.
I'd have to look back.
So
somebody sent me
if it's Upper Deck, it would be on card because I don't think Upper Deck does sticker.
Yeah. You're right on that. Oh, there it is. I don't know. It looks kind of stickery to me.
Okay.
I don't know if this will.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell. I mean, it could just be a panel for him to sign clean on.
Right.
I don't know, but yeah, from what I kind of understood, because I don't think they stated how many there are, but it seems like the consensus is kind of like 10. 10 was which actually is quite a few. It's not like you can pull a Jordan auto out of anything else. So
that's all he could find time to sign with his busy NASCAR championship run.
Oh, geez.
What?
Some of these guys.
What? I didn't see the results from last weekend to see if his driver went 4 for 4?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't follow. I did see that he won, but I don't. I don't follow the races individually or anything.
Yeah, he won the first 3 races of the season, but I didn't really watch anything this past weekend, so I don't know how he did on the latest race.
No pressure when you're in a sport and Michael Jordan is your owner, right? Like,
yeah,
there's a little bit of expectations piled on top of that. I mean, who demands more out of themselves
better
than
be a
Michael Jordan,
champion.
right? Yeah, kind of. I mean, like he settled for nothing less. You know, that's why most people refer to him as the GOAT, right? He
Yeah,
wasn't just the skill and the hard work and all that. It was the constant drive, the never give up, the never surrender type, mentality that it's hard to maintain for a serious long period of time in
yeah.
anything. Yeah. So
Well, we got
anyway,
a Dan and we've got Daniel with us tonight. Daniel Larson is with. He said Big Bird is one scary looking fellow. Yeah,
I
it's
would agree.
amazing all of us kids grew up with him, but then you get to be an
Yeah.
adult and you're like, that's kind of creepy, actually.
Yeah. I would agree.
And he says that Dominican starting lineup is no joke.
Yeah, for
No
sure.
kidding.
There's a
But
lot of countries with some. I mean, Japan's lineup looks pretty tough, and
yes.
Italy surprised me. And I watched a little bit of that game. I'm like, damn, they're good. Like, who would think Italy would compete, in a baseball tournament? But
they're definitely peaking right now, though. I don't know if they can sustain this rate.
I don't think their pitching would hold up. I saw a lot of cracks in that. A lot of walks, and walks tend to kill teams in this tournament. I've noticed.
Yeah.
The teams that don't have the pitching, it's like walk. Walking in runs and stuff. Pretty hard to win. When you don't even have to swing the bat, it's a pretty good deal for you.
Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. So I would imagine that Italy and Mexico game is over by now. So hopefully Italy continued to dominate for one more games, makes it an easy pass for the USA team. So
yeah.
Let's see here. Wolfie Joe says, I worked at a mom and pop exotic bird store in high school. Toucans are disgusting.
An exotic bird store sounds like something you should never enter. Sounds like something to avoid.
I can't get behind birds as pets. I just can't.
No.
We have some friends that have like a parakeet, and they let it fly around the house, and it makes me uncomfortable.
I had a girlfriend in high school whose mom had I don't know what kind of bird it was. A big bird, and it talked. Like, they taught it all these stupid words.
Cockatoo.
That thing never shut the hell up.
Yeah.
I hated it. Want a cracker? Want a cracker?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, can you put something over that thing so it stops talking?
Yeah. They're a little different when you're talking pets. Wolfie Joe says, making stacks and shows. I see that one Whatnot DVD shows.
Yeah, that's kind of. I'm just going to do the stacks ahead of time because when you do cards, you kind of have to. If you're going to do a lot, you kind of have to have a theme to the lot, right? Like, I don't really want to stack like random cards. That's going to be pretty hard to find a buyer. But if it could be like a bunch of Yankees cards or a bunch of Judge stuff or bunch of Favre stuff or something like that, you're a lot more likely to find somebody that wants that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of like pre-stacked. So it's basically the opposite of what I do on eBay. On eBay, I let you build your own lots, and it could be as random as you want it to be. I get some really random orders, as you guys have seen.
Yeah.
But then on Whatnot, it's going to be a little bit more curated and intentional because it's going to have to be bought as a lot. So I want to make it. I want to add as much value as I can and make it in something somebody really wants to buy.
Yeah,
so that's the goal.
We had talked about that. That would probably be my angle when I start selling on there, is to do some lots, because I thought there was an opportunity for that. A lot of the sellers that I buy from, I hesitate to say regularly because I don't buy from anybody regularly on there, but the couple of sellers I have saved, they often do unplanned lots. They'll just randomly start stacking up cards until the timer runs out and you get all of them, that come through. So
Yeah, and that's something we could try to. You know, I again, I'm just still feeling it out, like what I want to do, and I mean, the last 3 shows we've done, I've had some of the same buyers in all 3 shows. So, like, I do have like some following of people who are going to come into my shows. So I feel like I'm offering things that people want to buy and that kind of stuff. It's just more, I got to bundle it better so that it reduces those fees, because the fees, eat all the profit otherwise when you're doing $1 stuff. So I had basically, I looked at it this way. I had 2 options. I could do $2 starts on single cards,
Mm-hmm.
or I could do 5 cards at $5. Those
Yeah.
those to me were the 2 things that made the most sense. And it's not hard to curate a 5 card lot.
No, it's really not.
I shouldn't run into challenges with that real often. I might, if I go buy stuff, I buy stuff at a show, I might have like a straggler that doesn't really fit into a 5 card lot, but I could always pull 4 cards out of somewhere else or just throw that aside until I get other stuff that, it can kind of lot up with. But,
I
if
mean,
you,
I just have random cards sitting next to me, and you can make a 5 card lot over with almost anything. Like, here's 5 random cards I got: William Perry, all Chrome team; Legends of the Gridiron, Topps Chrome, Archie Manning.
nice. Is that Archie? Oh
yeah.
Archie. Not Arch, yeah. Archie.
Correct. Grandpa. Phoenix. What's the regular one? The Color Burst, and then the Fire Burst is in the complete sets.
Yeah, the Fire Burst was the set. That's a Fire Burst.
Yep. A JJ Watt Panini Sparkler, whatever it is, Prism. Not Prism, Hyper. I think that's what they call them. And a Topps Chrome Refractor, Danny White, 5 cards.
Okay.
I think someone would be interested in that, and that's just picked at random. So
yeah, and I feel like, I got a better shot at getting bids above $1 per card if I'm doing 5 cards.
Yeah.
There might be somebody might be like, okay, well, I do $2 for the 5 cards, because they're getting it all for the 1 shipping fee. Mm-hmm. And not having to worry about, well, what are the next cards coming up? Because I got to win in order to, dollar cost average my shipping and right. So I think it'll take some stress off of that. And, if a lot doesn't sell, I could always mix it up and try it as another lot. Yeah. Versus if a single card doesn't sell and you put it back up, it's still just a single card. So I like that fact. And 5 cards is pretty easy to show on a screen. So it's not a real challenge. It's not like a 20 card lot where that's a little more difficult to, really invest in. And as far as time, and try to get it all the cards shown off in the 10 seconds you do for the auction. And
I don't even think you have to show them all off in like a fan. I think you place one on your card stand, start the clock, you place the second one over the top of it, third one over the top of it, and just do it like that. You might want to make it 15-second auctions just so you have time to flip them all through. But
yeah, I thought about that. I was actually thinking of going to a 20-second auction, just because I figure that's 5 seconds per card or 4 seconds per card. Mm-hmm. Which just picking it up and putting it on the stack is, that's a couple seconds right there. So
yeah.
That's my thought, and then if I get a buyer in there who's like buying Yankee lots, I can easily dig through my boxes and grab 5 other Yankee cards that I think, would be interesting in a lot and throw it up at $5. Mm-hmm. And then I just change all my start prices because I pre-build my generic listings ahead of time. So when Ethan's on there, he can just grab it and throw a start on there with any card. And I'll just pre-build them all at $5. So we could actually change the lot still. He could do, well, these 2 5-card lots didn't sell. Let's put them together and do a 10-card lot for $5, right?
Right.
And then, we could start the timer. Well, that's still all pre-built as a $5 lot. So it doesn't change what we do like digitally for the show, like presentation wise. It's just more of, us kind of running it based on the demand and, what the bidders want and stuff. So, So I'm kind of excited about it. I think it'll be fun. And I can move more cards that way too.
Yes.
So, which is obviously the goal. Right.
Daniel says mail an eBay coupon with your whatnot shipments.
Yeah, I actually do. So I have some I don't have any on me right now, but like some printed out ones with the coupon code. It's just something that I made with a generic coupon code on it and my logo. And then I also send a business card. So they have the QR code to my eBay sports store and my eBay non-sports store as well
Okay.
when I send an order.
Very good.
Yes, good idea. You always need to advertise yourself.
Always be marketing.
Yes.
Dan says, never give up, never surrender. Are we quoting the Galaxy Quest movie now?
Yes, one of the best movies of all time, highly underrated. Go see it if you haven't. And if you have, go see it again.
It's been a while. I'm trying to remember if it's. I don't know if I'm thinking of the right movie. It
It's
was like a spoofy.
Yes, it's
Star
basically
Trek?
a spoof on Star Trek. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
But there's a lot of good stuff in it.
I might have to rewatch it. It's been a really long time since.
It's kind of like you know what Spaceballs is, right? Which
Yeah.
is basically a spoof on Star Wars. That movie's amazing.
Which sounds like a sequel is coming.
Well, it's done. It's already filmed.
Is it? It's in the can.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, there's probably some finishing stuff that they're doing, but yeah, the general portion of it is done, and yeah, I will be at the theater to watch that one for sure. I have 2 movies coming up that I got to go to the theater for, and it's been a long time since I've said that, but Masters of the Universe, I'm going to go see that.
Hey-Man, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the new Mortal Kombat. I always go to those movies in the theater.
Mortal Kombat.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Dan says Spaceballs 2027.
Yep, comes out 2027. I think it comes out in May.
All right.
If I remember correctly when I saw it. So, not that they couldn't change that time, but that's the expectation right now.
Yeah. Well, that caught us up in the chat.
Good.
We had a nice little run there.
Nice. That was perfect. Good timing. We're at 42 minutes, and we can go to some hobby or no.
Hobby or no.
Get your chat fingers ready. We want everybody pitching in on this on your
Yeah.
opinions, and we'll see what everybody thinks of this. And if you're watching this recorded, try to join us live each week, Wednesday, 8 Central Standard Time. We have these types of discussions. We do these games like Hobby or No, and it's a lot of fun when you can be on the chat live and participating. So,
Hobby or No, the game where everyone gets to tell me I'm wrong.
yeah, well, that's kind of everything, but yeah, it just gets amplified with Hobby or No.
That's true. All right, so let's get this show going. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Dollar Box Live proudly brings to you the high volume flippers, the scarcity spotters, the comp checking, bin holding, never liquidating legends of the hobby, JC3 Cards and Collectibles, the Dollar Box, and your undisputed champion of the hobby, Stu. And if you're not down with that, we got 3 words for you. Hobby or no. Welcome back to Hobby or No. The rules of the game are simple. We will display a number of random trading cards, with the focus tonight being football. When we display that card, the chat will have an opportunity to debate. Does this card have hobby or no?
Baseball, everybody.
It's important to note we will be debating on the actual card shown. That means the same set, the same athlete. Condition in this case should be assumed near mint and is not a major part of the conversation. Hobby in this case will be determined by one of 2 characteristics. It must have at least one. Number 1, the card has velocity. Velocity meaning there is a high volume of sales and quick turns. Number 2, if the card does not show any velocity, it should at least have a confirmed sale with a significant buy it now price, a high buy it now price showing a sense of scarcity that makes it worth waiting for. With the rules in place, let's get started. All right. So, other than me thinking I was saving a lot of time by not re-recording that and not realizing I had football in there last time, hopefully we're clear on what we're trying to establish here. We're looking to see, is this an athlete in a set that either has good velocity in sales or a buy it now price that's worth taking the time to list it.
Well, what's funny is you thinking I'm going to follow rules, but we'll give it a shot.
I know, but
We'll
there
give
are
it a shot.
lots of others like me that are rule followers. So
Right, that's true.
We need to. It's
That's true.
sometimes this game is kind of like herding cats.
Yeah.
So I try to put some structure to it.
No, it's smart. Yeah, you're still going to herd cats, but I get it. At least you have some. At least you have some like guidelines to it.
All right, let's kick it off with the first card. 2022 Panini Absolute Rookie Class Lava O'Neal Cruz.
So, guess how I would list this card?
You would list it as a rookie card.
That is correct.
Yes.
Let's see. Not numbered. Lava's popular. It's a nice looking card. Not licensed. On a crappy team.
Yeah.
Has some hobby. I've sold some O'Neal Cruz cards. It's got a few pluses and a few minuses to it.
Yeah.
I would say no hobby because there's just so many better there's so many players to buy in baseball. It's such a stacked player sport by the nature of it.
Yep. Joe says
I don't
hobby.
I don't think this one would get a lot of attention, and I do not like Absolute. So it's a nice looking card. I'll give it that. For an Absolute card, it looks nice, but I'm a no.
Dan says no hobby, and he's got some vitriol here. He says absolute trash set.
He's not wrong. The only purpose for Absolute's existence is that stupid case hit chase. What is it? The kaboom that comes out of that or something?
Yeah, something
and
like
I don't like products that are case hit chases. That doesn't do it for me. With the exception of Donruss. Like Donruss base cards always suck, but they do have decent inserts at least. In baseball, they're unlicensed, unfortunately, but
yeah,
and they will be for every sport after this next year. But anyway,
I love the parallel. The Lava parallel looks really sharp. I don't even know if that does full justice. I mean, you can see the sparkle here as I move it around.
Is this a rookie card, Charlie?
Technically, it is not.
Why is that?
Because it's an insert.
You don't have rookie inserts? We do in other sports.
Well, yeah, Topps likes to label them inserts, but the purists say no, the inserts aren't. So, I mean, it is his rookie year. So I think there's I like the talk sometimes about extended rookies.
It literally says rookie on the card.
I know that, but you can get inserts that say rookie on it that are 3 years into a player's career, so I'm with you most of the time. Like if it's their first year card, it's a rookie. I don't care which card it is from the set, so
yeah.
That said, Panini's not usually shy about calling something a rookie, and they chose not to on this one. So
it doesn't have the shield on it.
Yeah. So my thoughts on this one, love the parallel. I am a fan of O'Neal Cruz. He did some exciting stuff before. I think he was the cat who broke his ankle sliding in the home plate, and then he lost a big chunk of time and lost some momentum. I think he's also positioned as a breakout player this year. Third year, I believe. Well, 22... so fourth year, I guess, right? So I want to say hobby, but because it's Pittsburgh and because it's Absolute, I think I'm with you guys, or no on that one. So let's see what kind of volume and sales he's done. Yeah, so 2 years it had to go back. and found 2 sales of this card in 2 years. Now, not a horrible price, but what stands out to me on this one is those 2 sales were a while ago.
Yeah.
If you look in the last year, it's pretty quiet. So if this were flipped and the 2 sales were recently, then I might say I might take a chance on that card. There's a little bit of hobby building there, but because there's nothing for a long time since his last sales, I would be an no on this.
I think the biggest factor in deciding if this is going to have like future hobby is what your belief in the Pirates is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I think his value will go where they go. Assuming he's playing and all that, of course, as well. But
yeah,
just not a lot of love for the Pirates. Skeens is the obvious exception because he's so good and he's got the social media life and the girlfriend and all that stuff. But
yeah,
these other guys, even McCutchen, right? Like to me, McCutchen is he's super underrated baseball player.
Yeah, he'll go in the Hall.
Yeah, I think he's one of the best players we've had in the last 15 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when he played for Pittsburgh for a long time and no one cared.
Right.
He got zero attention. I was buying his rookies for 25 cents spins and stuff.
Now a lot of those teams he played for were pretty bad, and
right.
I do generally see Pittsburgh on the uptick right now. But even Skeens is limited by the small market effect, right?
I think people will still buy into Skeens no matter what, because eventually he's going to go to a real team.
Right. I think we all
so
agree.
They're not buying him because he's with Pittsburgh. They're buying him because he'll eventually go to the Dodgers or the Yankees
yeah.
Right. And then assuming those teams are still good, which they probably will be.
Yeah.
Look at Ohtani, right? Look what switching to the Dodgers has done for that dude. And everybody, we were all buying cards when he was with the Angels, and we're like, okay, we just gotta kind of wait this out. We kind of were waiting for that for Trout too, but Trout he never moves his ass.
Right.
Stays on that crappy team.
Mm-hmm.
But you knew Ohtani was gonna, get to that other market, and there was gonna be opportunity there. So I kind of feel the same way for Skeens, and I mean maybe that'll happen for Cruz too.
Yeah.
I wasn't selling any Jazz Chisholm cards for a while there, and then he goes to the Yankees, and they're in the playoffs and stuff. Last year they didn't do as well, but now some of his cards go. Yeah.
All right, so it looks like we're all in alignment on that O'Neill Cruz card. What do we got next? Let's see here. Paul Molitor, 2021 Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary Aqua Wave Refractor. How about that? Hall of Famer, Paul Molitor. Another nice-looking card.
It is. I love the Platinum Anniversary Topps Chrome. We're getting into a brand that adds value, in my opinion.
Yeah. Now, this is not numbered, to answer your question. And horrible facsimile autograph. It's cut off. Look at that.
Yeah.
And that's every card. Yeah. That's not like this isn't a miscut. That's the actual design. And I have a Robin Yount from this set, not cut off. The signature is perfect.
Yeah, well, I think they have the player sign one card, right? And then they duplicate it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe when Paul signed his, it was way off or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I see Lofi Joe's comment here, and I am the exact 100% same answer as him.
Yeah.
I like him, but he has no hobby. And that's exactly what I faced with him.
Yeah.
If you have some of his really early stuff, his rookies, because I think he was a rookie in 73 or 74, right?
Oh, gosh.
He's played a long time ago.
Yeah, this card doesn't have his whole history here. Born in 56. Yeah, it doesn't give me his rookie year.
Well, if he was born in 56, you figure 19, 20 years old, probably, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so you figure 74, 75, basically the same time Robin Yount came in.
Correct, yeah. Jim Gantner, Paul Molitor, Robin Yount all kind of came in.
Yeah.
Together.
Now, Molitor was great. He was an all-around, good player. Didn't have a ton of power. Didn't do anything, Hall of Famer, of course.
Mm-hmm.
1978 is what somebody's telling me for his rookie.
Well, is this the 78 reproduction?
No, this is the 52.
Um,
This is 52 tops like the man.
oh yeah, it's the 52 style,
Yeah.
but might have been his 78 card though.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I love the set. I like the parallels. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Aqua Wave is a little bit of a weird one, especially with the blue and yellow uniform. Doesn't look so great that way.
Mhm.
Obviously, the year that it's set that it's copying is popular. But I just don't think it's enough to put it into something with velocity.
Okay. Dan says, I say hobby, good set, decent player, and it's a parallel. I am Grumpy's chiming in. He's with us tonight. 1978 player card. And Johnny M is here. He says, no. For me, I agree that the market is depressed for Paul Molitor. If you were to put Paul Molitor and Robin Yount side by side, you're going to see Robin Yount with about a 50% higher sale rate, I think.
And he doesn't have great hobby.
Right. But I'm kind of aligned with Dan. Nice set, good card, good looking card, good image on there. Even though volume may not be really high in this, I think it fetches a decent price. So I would probably say hobby. So let's take
I mean, a lot of it's going to come down to, is there any buyers for these cards? Looks like what, 2? Was there 2 of them?
Yeah.
But
so
it was
this one's
a long time ago.
interesting in that, just like O'Neal Cruz, there were 2 buyers in 2 years, and there was a little time in there, but sale price was significantly better on some of these. And
yeah, I would probably
wait for that.
I would probably list this card at $4.99, to be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't have a lot of confidence in it selling fast, and it would probably end up at some point selling on my coupon for $2 or $2.50.
Yeah.
Excuse me, which is basically in line with what the pricing is here.
Yeah.
But I feel like, especially because I'm in Wisconsin and I do have a lot of Wisconsin buyers, naturally.
Yep.
I do believe the algorithm sort of pushes location as well when a buyer is looking at cards. So I do feel like I could sell it, but it's not gonna. I'm not selling this in a week like I am Ohtani
Agreed.
parallels.
I think this is long tail, but the reason I say hobby is because I think the eventual sale price makes it worth the wait versus a card that's selling at 74 cents on average.
Yeah, I think if you price it right, you could possibly move it quicker.
Yep.
So it really depends on what you have into it, obviously, and how fast you want to see it go. I would love to do when I'm just thinking about my lots, show that I want to do. This is a great card to fit into a lot, right? So like you could have some cool Robin Yount stuff, parallels. You could have some Paul Molitor. You could have some Raleigh fingers. You could have some, Brewers have some interesting characters in their history where I think it could be a good part of a lot.
It's interesting you say that, because as I've kind of refined my strategy this year, that is something I assess more frequently when I'm sorting through cards and deciding what I'm going to list. And the conversation in my head a lot of times is, hey, this doesn't really have hobby that justifies me to list it as a single, but this is a sweet lot anchor.
Yeah, I think I'm starting just mainly because of my recent switch and how I'm doing the live show. It's retraining myself. Like, I know what to look for in cards. That's the easy part. Now I got to figure out whow do I assemble certain things for certain things I want to do. Where I might have passed on this card if I was just looking at singles to buy. But if I had this and I knew I could come up with or if in the same box I found like some nice Yount parallels, you know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
if the lot kind of presented itself, I'd be a lot more apt to be like, okay, this could be cool. Like this will be a fun.
You would have passed on this card in a singles box.
Depends
Let's
on how
say
much it was.
it was in a 50-cent box, so you were gonna get it for 25, 30 cents, something like that.
25, 30 cents I'd be in.
Okay, all right.
Because you really have to decide if you can sit on capital. See, some people are challenged, like financially, if you will, like, well, if I buy all these cards, I got to sell these now so I can now go do this. And this isn't a card for that.
Yeah.
So I look at it like, well, I don't care. I can take a quarter and tie it up, because I have lots of cards like that. And then as you build up that inventory, you get more of those sales, so you get more money faster.
Yeah.
So even though the card I sold today is that same price, I might have listed it a year ago. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
So this one's just like replacing the one that I just sold from a year ago. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I feel like I could get enough price for it when I do find a buyer that at a quarter, it would be a reasonable purchase.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is still a Hall of Famer. There's a lot of Hall of Fame collectors.
Yeah.
Again, I'm in Wisconsin and I have a lot of Wisconsin buyers. I do have Brewer buyers. I sell a lot of Brewer. I listed a bunch of Brewers police cards. So that kind of, people want the police cards and then they kind of go in and buy a few other Brewers cards to hit the coupon. And you know what I mean? Yeah. So for me, because all I can do is answer for me on like what I think would be hobby, on what I'm doing, and this one has some place for that if I can get it for the right price.
Yeah.
Would I pay $1 for this card? No.
Yeah, I'm probably with you on that. Johnny M says, you consider $2.99 a decent price. It's all relative, Johnny. So when I'm talking low end cards, and the vast majority of cards I have listed at $1.99 after fees and shipping, I'm talking like making 50 cents. A card that I can move for $3 to $5 and pay, a similar sourcing rate on, yeah, that becomes a decent margin. That price becomes a better margin to sit on for a while. That's what I mean by a decent price.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and I think that's where a lot of low-end sellers or low-end seller adversaries, if you will, or people who are against it and are saying it isn't worth it, they're not looking at the other pieces of it. You have to have all the pieces in line. Just like I said with the capital tie up. If you can't pay a quarter for this card and maybe sit on it for a year, then you shouldn't buy it. Like, that's where you really have to look at like your business model and what you're trying to do, and then see if this fits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something I can pay a quarter for and sell for $3. That's a decent, there's money in that.
Yeah. Yeah. Johnny says he was thinking, for this game, $5 and up, and that's not that far off. I see where you're going with that. My frame of reference though is always like, my floor of listing is $1.99. Yeah. So when I talk about, a better price, I'm really thinking, okay, I'm not at my floor.
And actually, I would list this card at $4.99. I don't go by like this. This range here doesn't really mean anything to me. I overprice and do free shipping. Yeah. I'd do $4.99, and I might get somebody to bite at $4.99. I sell tons of cards that way, as I'm sure many of you do. If not,
my first instinct was probably $3.99 on it.
Yeah. I'd do $4.99. I'd take an offer at $4, so $3.99. So I'd have the offer option in there. And then if somebody wanted it at the $2.50, which is in the range of the price here, then they would have to be buying 9 other cards that I would be making money on as well. Correct. So now you're talking more of that 5 and up, if you will. Yeah. More profit range because you're selling more cards.
Yep.
So, and I did change my coupon this week. If we got time, I'll talk about that later.
All right. Well, what do we got next year? I think we got one of your favorites here.
Hobby.
There we go. Hobby. He just sees the name Rickey Henderson. Hobby.
Hobby.
Yeah.
Greatest baseball player of all time, if you're talking well-rounded player.
Yeah, for me, I struggle with the card itself.
I don't.
Non-licensed,
Yep.
nondescript uniform and batting helmet. I don't.
You know what I
think
like
they're-
about it? It's not in a regular common pack.
True, because it's
Less print.
the national VIP.
Correct.
Yep. Now, I think it is boring as hell, and I don't think there's a lot of people that would be looking for this card.
Yes. there's points that are going to be, remember, I go on my point scale, right? So it's like counting cards when you're playing blackjack, right? That's kind of how I look at this.
Yeah.
So player adds points, teams he's played for almost every team, so that adds points.
Yep, as Joe points out.
Rarity of the card. People do like the national cards. There are collectors for that. The design isn't great, but it's Panini, so I don't have any expectations for that anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think it looks any worse than any other Prism crap that they've released.
Yeah.
It's at least chrome. I think that's a Yankees uniform.
I think so too, but that's the point. Right. What the hell is it?
Right. But on Ricky doesn't matter. You could put an A on there. You could put it doesn't matter. He played for everybody.
He could be doing a commercial for Joe's bail bonds.
Yeah. If I found, again, everything still comes down to what do you pay to get it.
Yeah.
If this was in a $1 box, I'd skip it just because, like you said, unlicensed things like that. Yeah. I would pay 50 cents for this card. If I found it in a 50-cent box before discount, obviously I'd go for bulk then.
Yeah.
And buy that down. But in a 50-cent box, I would grab this for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I love Rickey Henderson, one of my favorite players of all time growing up, the Man of Steel. Even though I was a Brewers fan, I was always looking to see what Rickey did, right? But I feel like if I'm going through a box, I'm going to find 100 other Rickey Henderson cards I'd rather have than this one. And I may think twice at picking this up.
Yeah, I mean, I buy like Rickey base scorecards.
Yeah.
Out of dime and quarter boxes. Like this is way above that. So
yeah.
I'm an absolute 100% quarter box, 50-cent box. I'm in on this. Dollar, unless I was really going to get some bulk out of it, I'd probably pass, but I would probably list this at $4.99.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lions Card says Hobby says you could have a photo of Rickey rubbing a stick of deodorant on his armpit and it would sell.
If they make a card of that, let me know. I will buy a stack of them.
All right, now we're just getting crazy talk here.
he could be on a card with a bird pooping on his head, and someone would buy it, and that would be me.
Bradley's Harry says this card is ugly. Yeah, it's a blah.
It's a Panini card, so yes, it doesn't have any, artistic value. Correct.
Yeah. Here's what I would say. The player has hobby here. The card itself has no hobby.
Disagree because of the shorter print and the demand for the VIP cards.
Okay. All right.
The design does not add value.
Yeah. Yeah.
The aesthetic doesn't have value. Yeah.
I know you said there's collectors of the national sets. I just don't think there's a lot of them.
If I get the cards, they sell pretty quick.
And I don't know that these are all that hard to get either.
I don't see this card in boxes.
I feel like I pick up a VIP card at most large shows we go to. So I would say they're probably not chrome like this one.
I would say if you're going to like a local card show where you don't have like dealers who go to the national, they're not going to have it in their boxes.
Yeah. Dan says Henderson is hobby, but don't like the national VIP, and the team colors is not the A's. I think the price on this would be low, so I say no.
Yeah, I think it's a Yankees uniform though, so this team's still kind of relevant for value.
Joe says Nolan Ryan has crazy cards and people buy them.
Yeah, I sure do.
That is true. Let's see what kind of history we have on it. Okay, so over the past year, 3 copies of this have sold. for about $1.56 a piece. So, yeah, this one's tough for me. I'm torn. I'm torn on this one.
Here's the thing with, I saw a lot of Ricky. I buy a lot of Ricky. I saw a lot of Ricky, right? Like I'm sure many of us do. There's a lot of Ricky collectors out there.
Yeah.
You're trying to sell to a Ricky collector, right? That's the value in this card, because the card itself isn't great. It doesn't, not licensed. It doesn't really have a team on it. So it's going to be somebody who wants Ricky stuff. Yeah. This is probably a card a lot of Ricky collectors don't have yet, because it's not a pack-based card.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think you can get some velocity out of it if you're selling other Ricky cards. If you're like, this is my one Ricky card that I have listed.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people would come for that, but if I've got 25 other awesome Ricky cards, this is something that would get thrown into a buyer.
Yeah, and you can see my indecision on this one. Even when I was putting it together, I'm like, I could go either way on this one. I would feel a lot better if I felt comfortable I could sell it for, like you said, $3-4. I just don't know that it's there, and then it's going to be sitting a while before I sell it, which is something I'm trying to manage better this year. So the other thing that I would tell you makes a difference on whether I pick this up at a show or not is when I find it. If I come across it at the end of the show and my budget's getting a little thinner, I'm probably more likely to pass it. If I find it in the first box I go into and I still got a full lot of cash in my pocket, I'm probably picking it up. As I get more selective, I'm more likely to pass on it.
Yeah, and this, like, when I think of cards like this, I made tons of sales on cards like this, obviously. Mm-hmm. And I look at it as, I listed at $4.99. I'm going to have a Ricky, pretty much exclusive Ricky collector as my buyer. Mm-hmm. They're going to offer me $4 on it. I'm going to take it, so I'm good there. Or it's going to be a Ricky buyer that comes in and buys like 10 other $1.99, $2.99 Ricky cards, and it's going to go that way.
I'm going to list this at $4.99 in honor of you, and in 5 years, we're going to pull it back up in my old listings, and we're going to talk about it.
You know what's funny is you're going to list it at $4.99, and then I'm going to get an image message tomorrow. You were right. You were right. It's sold. No, you have to do it right, though. You have to do it the way I said I would do it. So you have to lift it at $4.99. You have to accept offers.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. Johnny M says that's an $8 card on eBay Live.
Yeah.
Might be. You never know. It depends on who you got in your
a lot of buyers getting scammed on eBay Live.
Ooh, I didn't hear about that. Lions Card says, I think this is a card that would sit, but eventually you'd get full price for it at some point, or at least via coupon. Absolutely a candy bar card.
Yes, that's great. He used my analogy. Yeah, this is a candy bar at the checkout.
My only rebuttal to that, Lions Cards, is when I got back into this and I started buying inventory, I had that mindset on way too many cards.
Yeah.
And I'm still sitting on a lot of those cards that I bought in that first year. But
you've also sold a lot of those cards.
Yes. Have I sold more than I'm still sitting on? Yeah, I guess so. I've got 4 cabinets of stuff from late 2023 and 2024 yet. So did I sell more than I sat on? I don't know. I definitely feel like as my sourcing has gotten better, I turn things faster, so it's more recently sourced stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know that argument convinces me, Adam, that I sold a lot of that stuff too. I probably
you don't really know what's going to sell. Like that's
true.
I saw some pretty weird stuff where I'm like, I didn't even intentionally buy this. It came in a lot or whatever, and I just listed it because it was there. And
yeah,
it's the first thing that sells out of all the stuff I listed. I'm like, how the heck did this happen?
You never truly know. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you're basically playing the odds is the way I look at it. And here the odds tell me there's better options.
But you could list this card and other options. You know, if you have space to do that. That's my point. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to put this one aside. Why can't you list this one and the other one?
Because
You know,
tomorrow
if you have
gonna find more cards that are better that I want to list.
You don't have to. You don't have to go buy
And
more.
at some point, I am going to hit a space constraint or a listing constraint because eBay won't let you have unlimited listings.
Right. Yeah, I know.
How do you feel
That's
about
got to change. That's got to change.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Lions Card says, I was going to say I've sold quite a few cards actually recently that have sold from some of his first inventory buys. We were talking Peyton Manning, and I recently had someone clear me out of mine. Yeah, it does happen. It's just, you never know what's going to sell. I get super excited when I pull up the last couple handfuls of cards I have from late 2023. But we are 3 years, almost 3 years later, and I'm still waiting for all of them to go. So, Bo's here tonight. 1 million Cubs. He says eBay Live is Nike, not Skechers.
Well, there you go.
There you go. And Johnny, I think, is enjoying our conversation.
Well, that's good. That's what we're here for.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Let's see what we got next here. I got to watch the screen as I reach for another card. There we go. We got some Big Mac here. 2019 Topps Chrome Update. 150 years of baseball's greatest players. Mark McGwire. What do we think? Another nice, shiny card.
Yeah, I mean, Mark McGwire doesn't do that well for me.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't buy a lot of it. There's a lot of negativity attached to him for obvious reasons. He's never going to be in the Hall. This is actually a pretty common insert. I know it's a refractor, but they're all refractors. It's not like it's a parallel.
Yep.
I think when there are Mark McGwire buyers that I've had, they're looking more for Cardinals uniform stuff. More Cardinals fans side of it, the home run race was with the Cardinals, all that stuff. I don't think this is one that would really fly for me. I would say a no.
It's an or no.
If it was in a dime box, I would buy it.
Yeah. Okay. Lions Card says I'm going to say no, not because it isn't something I'd list. I just don't think the numbers are going to reflect anything considered hobby.
There you go.
Yeah. Wolfie Joe says it will sell for $2 for me. No hobby. I
think he's right.
This is one of those cards that I talk to you about sometimes that the one thing that frustrates me about the hobby being a sports fan and it frustrates me to no end that sports achievements don't always mean hobby, right? So to me, this is a card, if this were the real world, not hobby, but just the real world, that should have hobby. But I agree with you. His market is depressed over the whole steroid thing. And I don't think this card does go as well as I think it should, given his accomplishments. So I would say no as well. Yeah. Look at those numbers. 4 in the last year sold, and not for much, sub $1.
Yeah. My best shot at this would be listing it at $199 and hoping it lands on some sort of coupon purchase.
Yeah. For me, this is classic lot anchor. This is a nice card.
Yes, or as I'm rethinking my live strategy, yes, it would be more of like a lot.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
You could do like a Bash Brothers thing, and you could have some Conseco stuff, and maybe do something that way. I don't know, or it'd be fun to do like a Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire lot.
Yeah.
honoring that whole thing. But yeah, and I've sold Mark McGuire cards. It's not like he has 0-0 hobby, but
Yeah.
it's kind of Paul Molitor-ish, to be honest with you.
I think the McGuire market is more his rookies.
Yeah.
Because that's hard for any collector to resist.
So I just had in 1996, Topps Chrome did a reissue of his USA Baseball rookie.
Sure, yeah.
And what did I list that at? $7.99, I think. I can't check. Well, I guess I could check on the computer, but scanned it.
$1 million.
Didn't even notice this, but it cropped the sides off of it. You know how it does that sometimes on Chrome? I didn't notice it that way, and I uploaded it. Normally, I would just go grab the stock photo and replace it, but anyway, I listed it that way. I had it listed at $7.99. It sold within a day.
Nice.
So I think you're right. I think it's more that USA Baseball rookie look because that's such an iconic card. And I think those were a little bit tougher pulls, tougher inserts at the time.
Yeah.
But
Johnny says you could do a steroid lot. There you go.
There you go.
You could do some A-Rod in there. And who is the other big slugger? Juan Gonzalez in that group?
Yep, Juan Gonzalez, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa.
Yeah.
Rafael Palmeiro.
Yeah, Rafi. That's the one I was actually trying to think of. Dan says true, even his 85 Topps rookie in a PSA 9, just because it was an iconic card in my day. I think he's saying even that goes. So
I bought that McGuire card because of the fact that it was, basically a replica of his Team USA rookie. So, in the prior conversation, not too many minutes ago, I'm like, I don't buy Mark McGuire cards. Well, I would say that most players have some exception depending on the card, depending on the price you get on it. I bought it out of a $1 box, so I probably paid like 75 cents, 80 cents.
Yeah.
And I knew I could do okay on it. So sold it for $8. So
And again, just a reminder, when we're looking at these, we're assessing this specific card in this player in this set. We're not really saying, oh, well, Ricky Henderson sells, so this card should sell too, right? We're really looking at the combination of them. So that's why we get so much debate, I think.
And there's no right or wrong. You could buy it. I mean, maybe you sell a ton of Mark McGuire and you're like, dude, this is an easy $3-4 card for me. Obviously, the sales history doesn't show that, but but maybe that's because you didn't try to sell it before. I have lots of cards like that where it's like, how do you? And I get people message me, well, how the hell did you sell this card? And I'm like, I don't know. I have customers that want that stuff, So you have to, just you kind of have to know what you're going to be able to cater to.
Well, and in fairness too, this is just one platform's market data. Maybe it sells a ton on Whatnot. Maybe it sells a ton live at shows.
Yep.
Lions Card says, would that juice the price of the lot, Johnny? Doing a steroids lot?
Juice.
I get what he did there.
That's a good one. I like it.
All right. What do we got next? Oh, I think you like this guy. Boom. Spotlights Greg Maddux from 2000 Top Stars.
I like Top Stars. A little bit shorter print. Wasn't around for too many years. I think it only had 2 or 3 years that they printed it.
Gold foil.
Gold. The look of the card is nice. Greg Maddux definitely has hobby.
Dan's a quick yes. Hobby.
Yeah, I'm a hobby on this. I don't think it's gonna be a ton of money, but I'm a hobby on it. I'd probably do $3.99 on this card. So
yeah, I think Maddux on his own has hobby, and I personally like this card, but it's a paper card. It does have the nice foil on it, but to me it comes off a little budget. Yeah. So I don't think this particular card of Greg Maddux has a lot of hobby. It'd probably be. This is one that I would surprisingly look at it and think about it and be like, yeah, that's probably an earn-no for me. And I wouldn't say that about most Greg Maddux cards.
But I look at cards like this and I feel like I would get it in a 10-cent or quarter box.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So is it going to end up in my pile where I can get a bulk deal with a bunch of other? Yes, because it's Greg Maddux and it's an insert
Yeah, that's kind of what
and
Wolfie Joe
tops
says
and
here.
the
Little
Braves
hobby,
uniform.
but don't pay too much to get it.
Yeah, so I would definitely be in on quarter box or something like that.
Yeah.
For this card, and I have Maddux buyers. I sell Maddux cards pretty regularly, so
Mm-hmm.
while I don't feel this is going to sell next week like an Ohtani card does, but it's not going to sit around for a couple of years. I don't feel either.
Yeah. Lions card says he's a little on the fringe, but mostly because he doesn't see a ton of Maddux in his experience. So, so we see, what do we got there? 5 in the last year sold of this card.
Not bad.
Every couple months, a couple copies go. Average of $1.04. Last sold was $2.50. It's not, it's not horrible. It's better than some of the other cards we looked at.
So I'd do $3.99. It would probably hit my coupon, so I'd sell it at $2. With 9 other cards, and so I'm pretty much right in line with the mark on this one, price wise, anyway.
Yeah, I ended up going hobby on this one. That last sold $2.50 is not too long ago. To me, that says I could put that out there, $2.99, $3.99, and wait on that a little bit, because there's a little extra margin on that for me. Because again, I'm with you. I'd probably buy this in a quarter box and pay 10 cents. So
yeah.
So then it becomes viable for me.
I feel like this would be a card I would pick up at the National, right? Like it's fill a box for $30 or whatever, and you're getting the cards for 15 cents or 20. Like this is the type of card that I would definitely put it in a box like that.
There's a better than 70% chance that's exactly where I picked up this card.
Right.
All right, on to the next one here. Let's see here. Riley Green, 2022 Skybox Metal Universe Champions. And that's the base card out of there.
This is a big hell no for me.
Yeah. It's not a
Riley Green does not sell well for me at all. It's unlicensed. It's
not a
kind of a boring card. It's not really a rookie, right? If we're having that rookie debate type of thing.
Technically, no, because he's not on a pro roster yet. Yeah.
And so I don't feel like that would be. Now I do sell a lot of Metal Universe. Remember, I bought that whole box of base.
Yeah.
Actually, I got it thrown in, so I didn't pay anything for it. But there's lots of cards out of there that I sell. Riley Green is not one of them. So
yeah. Lions Cards agrees. He says no hobby. I don't even think Tigers fans like him enough anymore. Wolfie Joe thinks differently of Skybox Metal than you do, though. He says that set does not sell well for him.
Sure.
So
what sells mostly for me, and actually I just had a 2-card sale just a couple hours ago. But what sells for me is more like the media personality cards and the music cards and those types of ones. And then like obviously like Tiger and Gretzky, those guys have cards and that's like the only product they have cards in.
Right.
And then some of the inserts are cool. Like the Blast Furnaces are cool, and Intimidation Nation and Sabrina Ionesco cards sell really well out of there because she didn't have a lot of WNBA stuff, early stuff. So when I got the box for free, it was a no-brainer. But and LeBron is in it, and Iverson is in it. Like there's some other like other decent vet names in there, and Jordan, right? Jordan's in it. Those sell, but this card here, no, it's not one of them.
Yeah, Dan agrees. No thanks. This set just doesn't sell, and if it does, it's below $1. Lions card says, myself included, I don't like him either. He says, I have a couple cards, but I don't actively search. We're more about Kerry Carpenter and Tariq Skubal.
Skubal's got hobby.
Yeah.
That guy's fire.
Yeah, and Wolfie Joe says he doesn't like this year's version anyway. This 2022, he doesn't sell much. Yeah, I'm aligned with everybody. I would say no myself. The market has definitely soured on Riley Green. He benefited from some prospect hype for a while, but that we've seen the real Riley Green now, and it's nothing to get too excited about. Keith is here. Keith All, welcome back, Keith.
Hi, Keith.
Says nah in the green and metal universe. Yeah, I think we're all aligned on that. Let's look at some data for it. Look at that average of 49 cents. Sold 5 copies of this card in the last year. Yeah, I don't.
I'm surprised that many.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's hard for me to even build a profile of a buyer on this. So,
so a Tigers buyer.
Yeah, but
Probably.
Do you think it's like a set collector or something too?
Yeah, that maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many set collectors there are for Metal Universe, but
it's a easy entry point.
Yeah, and they are all foil, and so there's some draw there, but yeah.
Yep. So we're all aligned on the no. Let's get a little shiny back here on the next one. 2021 Bowman Chrome 40-man futures insert for, what is it, the Alien, Jason Dominguez? Is that what they call him, the Alien?
I don't know. No, I think Alien is, oh, shoot. I just sold an Alien card because he's called the Alien in the Bo Jackson Battle Arena game.
Oh, I know.
Is it a Reyes? No, Alien is Webanyama.
The Martian. Keith's got it. They call Jason Dominguez the Martian. Yeah.
If this was a year or two ago, I would have said I would have leaned more hobby, but now no. His stuff has pretty much died.
So I don't know that it's really that dead yet, but it's not as hot as it was. I definitely would agree with that.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of Jason Dominguez yet, just because I'm so behind on listing of things I picked up in the last year. And I still see quite a bit of his stuff moving, and he's still a Major League Baseball, rosterable player. So it's not like he washed out as a prospect. He's not Riley Green level. That's what I would say. Speaking of that, Lions card says if the Ricky was a candy bar, that Riley Green is a candy corn card.
I like candy corn.
Lions card says this one is a fringe coupon card.
That's true, because it could fit into a Yankee buyer, which we all have Yankee buyers, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And he is in the Yankee uniform, so get some points for that. But I have a feeling this would be in a box that'd be too expensive. I feel like I would see this in a $1 box or something.
That's a good observation, because some dealers are going to hold his price pretty high yet.
Yeah. Dan they probably bought in high too.
Yeah. Dan says one day he might be good, but in the last year, it's a no.
Yeah.
Keith says he's no Marvin, though. Not Marvin the Martian.
True.
Definitely not. Wolfie Joe says sell quick if you have this one. Let's see what kind of data is behind it. Look at that. 22 copies in the last year. But kind of a low floor or a low ceiling on this one, I should say.
Yeah, and I have a feeling a lot of those copies were like early in the season last year. When he's finally got like real playing time and had a little bit of success. And
I mean, you see one or two the past couple months.
Sure, because the season's going to be starting.
Yeah. So they might explode next month if he gets off to a hot start.
Yeah, I think if we're going to work timing into Hobby or No, that changes it quite a bit.
Yeah, I would agree.
So right now, if I had that card laying around, would I list it? Probably, because like now is when you could really try to move it.
I actually say hobby because of that velocity. If I can sell 2 a month of this card, that someone else said it, that's a coupon card. I think that's dead on.
Yeah, I agree.
Cards. Yeah,
I agree from that aspect.
Yep. So I would definitely push this one
Not
out.
not a lot of money though. Like you're not gonna.
No.
I feel like this card would be overpriced in boxes, and then I'm not going to be able to sell it for much in
Yeah.
order to sell it.
But if you think about the coupon buys, maybe you don't see this, but what I normally see, you know, your buyer has to pay for the most expensive cards until they get to 10, right? This would be one of those freebies, because it's low price. They just throw another one in the cart because, they're basically getting it free. They're paying full price for the first 10 that are $2.99, $3.99, $4.99, and then this is a freebie thrown in. So I think at that point, there's a lot of buyers for that.
Well, there's a lot of cards that could take that position though too.
Yeah. But that my point is that's what makes this a great coupon card.
Yeah, because of the velocity.
It's that candy bar to throw in at the register as you're going through.
Right.
Yeah. Mr. Salty Pickles here. He says, put some respect on 2025 All-Star Riley Green. No hobby love, that's for sure.
Is your pickle profile photo from Pickle and Peanut? Because I love that show. If you haven't seen Pickle and Peanut, watch it. It's amazing. It's got John Heater does one of the voices, Napoleon Dynamite.
John, yeah.
And he's like a producer or something on it, but it's wild. It's these two friends. One is named Pickle and one named Peanut, and of course that's what they are. And it's kind of Beavis and Butthead style, I guess. Like they get into stupid situations and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I don't have anything against Riley Green. I didn't speak negatively of him other than the fact that he just doesn't sell. If it doesn't sell, I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah, I think this is another one of those cards that helps my frustration case about, a player can make the All-Star, but that doesn't mean they're going to have a hobby, right? Like,
yeah, well, because people have to like them. They got to, I don't know. There's there's these weird followings to certain players and certain cards that don't necessarily make sense.
There are,
I don't know. It's strange, but
right.
It is what it is.
Well, I think the next one coming up, if I have them in order here, was a head scratcher for me. I want to love this card. I'll tell you that right now. Mookie Betts. It's serial numbered. 2019 Panini Donruss season stat line out of 346. Mookie Betts. It's the foil card. So again, you got some nice shine. It's Mookie with the Red Sox, and I think while most buyers today probably love him with the Dodgers, the Red Sox have such a diehard following too, that I think having his Red Sox card can be solid as well. So I grabbed this and I was like, this for sure has to have hobby. What do you think?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I saw a bunch of Mookie stuff, and he's super relevant. Will be again this year. The Dodgers aren't going anywhere, so you're still going to hear his name. People like him. He was just on Shifting Gears. He had a cameo role on that TV show. It's numbered. Statline has collectors. They've been doing Statline parallels since like the 90s.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a fun parallel because that out of 346 isn't a random number. It's a number of a stat of his.
Yeah.
So people like that. It's got a decent shine. It's unlicensed. That part sucks. I get it, but
yeah.
So and again, says I'm going to disclose this again. It depends on what I'd have to pay for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if this card was in a 50-cent box or maybe even a $1 box, if I was going to get a bulk discount, yeah, because Mookie sells for me.
So Lions Card says no. Dan says no. He says I cannot move a Red Sox bets and it's non-licensed. So no for me. Keith All says it's numbered. So yeah, hobby for him. Wolfie Joe says hard call. I prefer Mookie bowling cards myself. Fair. I think we would all prefer those. This is a coupon card for me, but people will redeem for 42.3. What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Decipher. We don't know your. Oh, okay, Luffy Joe.
I think he meant
$2 to
$2.
$3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
$2. He just didn't hit the dollar sign.
Yep. Let's look at some numbers on this. 2 copies sold in the last year, and that's not because of scarcity. There's plenty of these out there, I believe. If you look at listed cards, you'll see plenty. Last sold at $1 average over that year, $1.50 between the two. That doesn't give me much excitement. That I never get too excited about throwing a card in a cabinet for a couple years. So for me, as much as I want to say this again, I feel it should have hobby. For me, I would give it an no, because I just don't see it moving. And when it does move, there's not much meat on the bones. Which leads me to a new question. Why not? Why isn't there more hobby on it? What's wrong with this card?
I would say the Red Sox thing does take a little something away from it.
A little, or hey, you can't make money on this
Well,
card?
I think a little, and then the fact that it's unlicensed sort of adds some points on top of that.
Yeah.
But I would find a buyer for this, and I have a lot of buyers that just buy numbered cards anyway.
Yeah.
I
I
but
think
just
what
the
I
fact that
learned
it's serial numbered.
what I learned through these exercises is that, again, nice shiny card, it's a good action batting image. What I learned the more and more we do this exercise is that card the photography is much less important than maybe I thought when I started doing this. The eye appeal, while having a place, is way low on the points list.
Yeah.
Because a card like that, I think, is beautiful. As a sports enthusiast and a card collector, I think that's a beautiful card, and I would love to have that at the right price, right? But seems like the hobby market says there's not a ton of people that think that way.
And how many of them are listed?
I would have to look that up, but that is not a rare card, like I said. Let me back this up a little bit. What year was that? 21, 22, something like that.
22,
There we go. 2019.
19. Okay.
2019 Don Ross season stat line Mookie number 101. Yeah, there's one. There's another. There's another. So I can get to 10 of them with just a light scroll. So that to me says there's plenty of them out there.
20 of them? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you don't really run out of them. You can keep scrolling.
Sure.
So yeah, it's just interesting. What looks like a nice card doesn't mean other people are buying it.
Right.
And it's when you think of other things, like look at cars, right? Oh, that's a nice car, but the most common reason that people don't buy a nice car is because it's priced out of their range. You couldn't say that about this card.
Right.
So it's just a very different market that I still haven't really fully understood some of the decisions the market makes. So Wolfie Joe says Donruss baseball takes away, in his opinion, as well. So I mean, it's a common set. Anybody can go in and buy it off the shelf. There's millions printed, right? So there's definitely no scarcity to it. We've discussed that, but it's just one of those things. Like, good players doesn't necessarily mean good hobby, right? And good photography doesn't mean good hobby. So
It's true.
Albert Pujols 2022 Topps Chrome Refractor version in the Doyers uniform.
Yes.
Think so. I mean, the refractor is Topps Chrome. It's a good set. It's good parallel, desirable parallel. Everybody loves players when they get in the Dodgers uniform. My first instinct would be yes, hobby on that. Even
I
though
just
this
bought a big stack of Pujols, and most of it's Topps Chrome, a lot of base cards and stuff from the mid 2000s, which I think are better selling cards because of the lower print runs. But
yeah,
I got stacks of his stuff, so I just basically took a small stack of them and scanned them, and I sold a whole bunch of them right away. They're not refractors either.
yeah.
Doing $4 or $5 on a 2007 base Topps Chrome card.
I think especially right now as people anticipate his Hall of Fame entry, they're pretty easy to move.
Yeah. So I think that I have a buyer for this. I shouldn't say I think. I know I have a buyer for this at the right price. So
yeah,
it would have hobby in my eyes.
Lions Cards wants us to create a new subcategory. No hobby, but Adam would somehow sell it.
Fine by me, as long as it sells. That's why I always disclose it with, hey, I think I have a buyer for this, because it's not, and it's not every card. And the Riley Green, I'm like, absolutely not. I don't have anybody who would buy this from me. So yeah, you have to kind of know your customer base and, fit into that. And I've always bought Pujols stuff at the right price and been able to get sales.
Sure.
Now, will this turn in 2 days like some of the other Chrome ones I listed? Maybe not, even though it's a refractor and the other ones weren't. Those were in, they're a little bit older, which there's less of that being listed, less of it being printed. Mm-hmm. The ones that I sold were Cardinals uniform. Which he retired as a Cardinal. He started as a Cardinal. So there's maybe a little bit more buy on the team side. I mean, although you're talking Dodgers, there's plenty of Dodgers buyers too. So I think
if you rank his uni cards, it would be Cardinals, Dodgers, Angels.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, and I like this card. I think the design is nice. I like that year, what they did with it. Refractor is such a traditional parallel. There are people that literally just collect refractors. So yeah.
Yeah. Dan says Pujols Refractor is a good card, but the collectors usually buy the Cardinals uni. But I would still say hobby. Wolfie Joe says, I think I have one sitting in my store for a while. Yeah. What do you got it priced at? And is your listing accurate?
Yeah, I would price this at $4.99. I mean, I think I could sell it at $4.99, to be honest with you. And then again, $4.99, and again, I didn't talk about my coupon yet, but $4.99 would fit into my coupon, so I could still get at least $2.50 for it.
Okay.
Which I think would be a fair price.
Ketchup popsicle to a woman wearing white gloves.
I would try to, yes.
Lions Card says, I bet that's on a card in Adam's inventory somewhere. Probably. That was from Tommy Boy, right? Your dad was a great salesman. He could sell ketchup popsicle to a woman wearing white gloves.
I believe it was, yeah.
Yeah. Not Joe. I love that we get some banter back and forth in the chat. That makes it all worthwhile to me. Let's look at some sales data. 34 copies of this sold in the past year, so some solid volume and velocity there.
The other thing is he just retired and he's going to be eligible for the Hall in a couple of years. So while that doesn't mean you could sell it tomorrow, it's probably worth holding on to. I think the $1.50 and 99 cent price thing is insane. I would never sell it for that. So
Yeah,
I don't
that's what
I
it's
don't know.
going at.
Yeah.
You clearly have not sold it because you're not spiking the chart up here. You
Yeah,
need
I
to
don't
source
I don't
some.
believe I have a copy of this card. No. No.
um, but technically, this is just a manager's card, right? He's just a manager now. It's just a card from his playing days. Nobody wants a manager card.
Well, that's not true either. I saw Pete Rose manager cards,
I know.
right?
How
I mean,
does that
there's
sound?
certain ones that sell.
Yep.
Joe
Um,
Torre.
yeah, I think the pricing volume is surprising here, but I could not walk away from that kind of velocity with 34. Another one just sold. Didn't it just flip the no, it can't. This isn't live data. I thought it said 34, and then I felt like I blinked and it changed to 36 on the bottom.
Cool.
Uh, I need
Sure.
some more of that good stuff, man.
Now we're
Uh,
pumping the sales on this card. We're shilling it.
so I would say hobby based on the velocity. We got 2 left to go. We're actually going to get through them all. Robin Yount, greatest shortstop ever, 2021 Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary, black and white mini diamond refractor. Again, in that 52 throwback design.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the same set as the Paul Molitor.
Yep. Just different
I'm going to say no because he's a Brewer.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I would say that about most Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, great Hall of Famer. The kid doesn't have the hobby of, say, your boy Jeter for sure. You'll get no argument from me out of that. But he does have, I believe, a decent following, a nice card, a decent set. I could see this selling at $4.99. I would say I think this has hobby. So even though it's a Brewer, I would say hobby. Let's look at some sales data on it. Oh, look at that. Not a lot of volume, but it has been recent in the past year. A couple of them sold just in the last few months. But pretty good market in terms of sale price here. Average sale price is $275. The last one went at $350. Like I said, I think I could sell this for $5. Dan says totally hobby, good set, and the mini diamond is a fantastic parallel. And Yount has a good following, and he is a Brewer. So, Dan, you're a smart man. Wolfie Joe says $5 for that card, and people like the mini diamonds. I agree. I think the mini diamonds are slick. And I think they have a pretty good following as well. Lions card says absolutely. Platinum Anniversary is drool worthy for collectors. Well, I didn't know it was that strong. I might have to get more of them if it's that strong. Have a friend very close to completing the next year's team set in this exact parallel. Don't think player is nearly as relevant here.
That's a fair argument. If it's a set in a parallel that's popular, there are times when the player doesn't matter at all, really.
Yeah.
It depends on why the collector is collecting. If they're collecting it for the set, they got to have them all. So you need the maybe less desirable players too. Now, if this card was in a quarter or 50-cent box, would I buy it? Yeah, of course. It's just Yount stuff doesn't move that well for me. So that
I would probably still buy it in a $1 box too, assuming I'd pay 70 cents for it, something like that. 60 cents.
Yeah, based on the parallel. Yeah.
Because I would still think there was plenty of margin on that. So I think we, other than you and your antagonistic view of the Brewers, we all said hobby.
Well, I mean, I said it mostly jokingly. I have a lot of respect for Robin Yount. I think he was an amazing player.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's definitely Brewers fans. It's not like the team doesn't have any following.
Yeah.
So even just looking at it from that one, Yeah, I mean, he's probably the best-selling Brewer.
Yep.
So if you're going to buy a Brewers player, this would be the one.
Yep. Lions card says, I think I'd grab this one at $1. Fair enough. I
There you
think we're
go.
with you. So we're down to our last card. This one was fun for me because it's a player I sold a lot of. And that is Manny Machado. Probably one of my earliest kind of like guys that sold consistently and I would pick up a lot because I kept selling his cards. This one's the 2015 Topps Chrome base. Horizontal card of his time still with the Orioles. Oh gosh. I don't think that's too early. When was his rookie season?
I think it was 13. I have some of his rookies
Okay.
from Topps base, and I think it was 2013. But somebody would have to verify that.
You might be right. I can verify here in a second. 2012 was his rookie year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same year as Trout.
You were way off.
Oh, shush.
Let's see here. Dan says, being Machado, no thanks. Yeah, I hate him as a player. I don't like his attitude and the way he plays the game, and that there was many contentious moments with the Brewers as well, if I recall. In playing against the Brewers. So I've always had a little bit of venom for him. But like I said, he was one of the first names that popped out in my sales when I started doing this, that he would sell quite a bit. Now, in fairness, when I think back to it, when did I really start buying a lot of product as a collector? Well, it was like 2011, 2012. And have I sold a number of his rookie cards? Yeah, that probably skews my view of it a little bit because I had a bunch of his rookies and they would all go at a decent clip. Lions card says, or no. Wolfie Joe says no on this one. Dr. Mantis T-Boggin is here giving us a little hype. He's only got 4 thumbs up so far. Best show on Wednesday nights. Let's go.
Yeah, please like it. Please subscribe to the channel, share the video, all those good things. Subscribe or ring the bell so that you're notified when we go live because people forget. That'll send you a reminder.
He even gave us a goat here. Shout out for Stu here. Look at that. Yeah. So I think you can guess my position. I would, if I saw it in my collection, obviously this came from my collection, I put this together. My initial reaction would be, yeah, I can sell that. But sales data isn't that great on it. I think a lot of you guys are right on this one. 6 copies or 9 copies sold, 9 listings completed on it over the last year. That's a little underwhelming. Most of them are just under $1. So these are basically thrown in bundles a lot is what that tells me. And the only hope is, a late sale for $2. That might have even been an auction, right? So where you had some buyers competing against each other, $1 opening bid, and maybe someone hit the button at the same time and inadvertently bid $2, something like that could have happened. So, I started a hobby looking at the data that kind of sways me to no.
Yeah, I agree. No.
Yeah. So we made it through all of our cards and finished a round of hobby or no.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks. Special shout out to Charlie for putting that together. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet.
You do such a good job with it.
I always love the conversation around these cards because you said it earlier. There's no right or wrong answer, And there's good points on both sides. And then there's the uniqueness of every seller's portfolio of buyers as well.
You
Which
can always try a card too. You can list it, and then if you want to only give it 3 months or something, and it doesn't sell in 3 months, then pull it down.
Yeah.
You don't have a commitment to just because you listed it, it's got to stay up there till it sells.
Yeah, and it's also, it can be different from one seller to the next because not everybody positions their product the same way either, right? We all do different promotions, or some of us don't do any promotions, and some of us fill in certain things when we do a listing, others don't fill it in. Some have a
Right.
certain format and title they use, others don't. All of those are little factors that go into, does this sell for me when it sells for you? Like, it's not completely apples to apples. Just because Adam sells it doesn't mean I'll automatically sell it when I list it,
Yeah, as a
because
matter of
there are
fact,
little things I do different.
ours do not parallel very often at all.
No, they don't. They
No,
don't.
because a lot of times after a show, we'll be like, "Oh, this is what I bought. This is what I bought," and sometimes I look at the stuff you bought, and I'm like, "Man, I never would have bought any of that, or all of that, if you will." I mean, there's always, yeah. Well, I found Jordans in a quarter box. Well, of course you're going to buy those.
Right.
There's the
Right.
obvious place, but and then you're like, "Hey, well, this sells and that sells," and I'm like, "Okay." I mean, yeah, it's interesting. You got to try to put some focus onto building a regular customer base, because that'll help your buying so much. You won't have to think of the Manny Machado and it's this card and it's this base. You just have to go, do I have somebody who buys Manny Machado cards that would want this?
Right. Right.
And then kind of focus your buying that way as much as you can.
Yeah.
That's where now I struggle a little bit with Whatnot because I don't have that. So now I'm just like at the beginning again. I mean, I know what cards are good and what aren't, and what I feel like is gonna have a margin in it for me and all that. And I can always throw them on eBay anyway. But I have no idea who the buyers are that are going to come in. I'm starting to get a feel for that. I have had regular buyers in my last few shows. But so those of you with, live selling or looking to go to live selling, I'm trying to share as much of that experience as I can, because that's where I'm the noob. And starting to figure a few things out. And then there's other things where it's like, okay, I still got to try to do stuff with this and see what works.
Right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
my live show is not going to be the same as the next guy's live show. So
That's what makes it all challenging, right? There's no two perfect replicas. So you gotta, every time you think you gotta figure it out, something comes up where you gotta start all over.
Yep.
Well, Dan says, thanks, Charlie. Such a great game. Glad you enjoy it, Dan. Maybe we'll try and get this on a regular cadence. Maybe once a month we do a hobby or no. So go ahead and fire out in the chat what you think might be a good topic for the next hobby or no. I'll see if I can put one together for a few weeks from now again. So if we think about April, we'll have, when do the NBA finals start?
I think that's in April, right?
Yeah. So
April or May. Might be May, because I think the season ends in June.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
So.
You're right. So we got a ways for that. Will soccer be kicking off yet?
Soccer will be starting in the middle to the end of June, because there's those push-off matches.
Boy.
That start. So all the teams will be here in June.
Yeah.
But the cup doesn't start for a couple of weeks till after the teams get here. So that's kind of a strange tournament that way. But
yeah, okay.
They try to play some friendlies just to build the sport here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or wherever it's being hosted. It was Qatar last time. So
okay.
I think that we're probably gonna have to wait more towards like the June time, mid-June.
Yeah, I think I might see a good candidate here. First of all, Lions Card says college sports, which is not a bad idea, because certain colleges have a much stronger following than others. I think you would agree with me on
and
that.
It kind of leans towards that prospecting part, right? Like where it doesn't really, they're not going to have hobby yet because they don't have a hobby.
Yeah.
But who's saying what about what players? And now like there's the prospecting that's, building up to that.
Yep. Wolfie Joe throws out a NASCAR. Not
Ugh.
bad. We'll be full swing in the NASCAR season. We're 4
Yeah, I
races.
know nothing about that, so I'd be pretty useless on
That's
that
perfect. That's
episode.
perfect. We like ones that you know nothing about, so
Sounds
you
good.
can be mere mortals like the rest of us.
Please.
But Wolfie Joe says, when is WrestleMania? Well, it just so happens that WrestleMania is that first week of April, I believe. First weekend.
Yeah, let's do wrestling. That'd
So
be fun.
wrestling might be a good fit. Yeah.
You could do like a combo with that. You could do wrestling and maybe a UFC card here or there. You know, they kind of.
Well, that's like make believe and real. I don't know that you want to combine those.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I like the idea of wrestling. I definitely have inventory around here that would be useful to throw some up again, grab another 10 to 12 cards. So that might be a good candidate there, Joe. But
yeah, I like
appreciate the feedback on that. We'll see what we can put together. But now we got one more topic we want to hit on before Adam falls asleep.
Okay.
We all want to know about this one, Adam. Dan says, speaking of promotions, why did Adam change his coupon after years? And you kind of foreshadowed this before in the show that you made some changes. So tell us about them.
Yeah, so I stopped doing offers on new listings for a little period of time just as kind of a trial thing. I'm kind of like you, and I'm in a spot where I'm trying to tune in a little bit more, fine tune, right? Fine tune what I'm doing. And I didn't really like it. I don't like the $1 offers on $1.99 cards like none of us do, but it honestly wasn't that big a hassle to me. And I don't get as many offers on that as I do legit offers on higher priced cards.
Okay.
And the other thing that when I reflected on it, I overpriced my cards. So I like the offer aspect because I kind of have that priced in that I'm going to get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I priced it at $7.90. You know, it sells at $5. I price it at $7.99. Someone offers me $7 and I take it. Right.
Yep.
So I like that. But in order to do that, in order to cut down on some of the other, you know, fluff, if you will, or extra time spent, I changed my coupon. I changed the dollar range of what applies to the coupon.
Yeah.
So I know you do a buy 10, get 10. I do a buy 10, get 50%. And I changed it to $1.99 to $4.99.
Okay.
Because generally if I'm listing a card, well, we kind of saw this in Hobby or No. When I list a card at $4.99 and it hits the coupon, it sells at $2.50, which is like right in the flow of what the card markets.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like that was a good way to do it. And I still feel like that's low end, right? So I'm still getting $4.99 cards out of quarter boxes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, 50-cent boxes. So I still have lots and lots of margin in there, you know, selling those at half. But then any card priced above that, I don't have to worry about, you know, taking that half price hit on it.
Yeah.
I also like that as a benchmark. $4.99 it's $5, right? Let's face it. I like that because if I feel like I have a card that has more velocity that I would normally price at $4.99, I can now price at $5.99 and keep it out of the coupon flow. And then probably get an offer at $5, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can accept the offer without, you know, the bigger price cut.
Right. Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
That's my
play. I think it sometimes takes a little work to find the sweet spot on those coupons. You know, I'm noticing some trends with mine right now that may have me address it down the line a little bit as well.
Yeah.
For me right now, the thing I'm noticing with mine is 20 cards has a propensity to tip over to ground advantage.
Yeah, it's too many cards. That's one of the reasons I don't do 10 and 10.
Yeah.
I like 10 because it always fits into a envelope, or like a 2-ounce envelope is basically what that price is out at.
Yeah.
So even if you sell like a slightly thicker card or something like that, you can still do 10 for sure.
And that's the thing. The buy 10 get 10. If they're all, you know, your normal like this acetate card,
Mhm.
nice and thin, I can fit 20 of these in my 3-pocket envelopes, no problem. But when I start getting, some of the thicker cards, I don't have one next to me right now, but like there was an order I packed last night with 20 cards. There was some memorabilia in there. Well, I'm not going to be able to get 20 cards into a 3-pocket and keep it under a 1/4 inch with memorabilia. So I had to go over to a Ground Advantage. And now all the gains I made from the volume just got ate up by the extra postage, right?
Well, and so on my coupons on the buy 10 get half price, one of the things I love about it is my customer, the cards they buy that are over 49 that don't qualify for the coupon,
Mm-hmm.
the half price part of it still count towards the 10 cards.
Yeah.
So I had an order today. I did this a couple days ago, by the way. I changed it, so I have results to this already too. But I had a buyer today who bought 10. Actually, I think it was like 11 or 12, so over 10, but enough to qualify for the coupon, of course. Marvel cards in my non-sports store. 2 of the cards they bought were $7.99, so they paid full price for those 2 cards. But the other 8 cards, let's just say it's a 10 card order. The other 8 cards they did get at half price. So that's the true candy bar at the checkout, right? Like I sold the 2 premium items, but I could still also sell the candy bar at, as at the enticed reduced price.
Right.
The quantity by, think about even the candy. Remember when you were a kid and there were the candy bars at the checkout? They were just flat out 50 cents. That was it. There was never deals on them. Go to a checkout now, and when you go past the candy bar section, it's always like buy 2 king size, get 1 free, or buy 3 king size, get them for $2, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're starting to do more deals on even the checkout stuff because, first of all, stuff's too expensive, so that's part of it. But they're realizing, well, if I can get them to buy a candy bar at $2, that's fine. I keep my full margin in it. But if I can get them to buy 3 candy bars at $1.75 each, now I sold a candy bar on my candy bar.
Yeah.
So that coupon's just been so important to me. It's the one I wanted to continue to use. I just wanted to find a better space to take the best advantage of it. So
fine tuning.
Yeah, fine tuning. I'm not giving up nearly as much margin. Then I'm protecting myself on the bigger value cards. And I think I messaged you the other day on this because you were talking about, well, I'm going to $4.99, and I'm like, I'm still going to do $1.99, $2.99. And then I started looking at my numbers, and I'm like, wait, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just subconsciously doing it.
Yeah.
Where I'm moving more towards, okay, I'm buying stuff out of dollar boxes and doing $4.99, $7.99, $9.99.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing that, and I'm like, I don't want to sell that at half price.
Mm-hmm.
I want to sell the $1.99, the $2.99, that stuff at half price. So, the dime box stuff or the quarter box stuff. So this I felt like was a great way to fit it in because they can still buy the better card at the full price, and still add on the other cards without having to buy more necessarily than the coupon quantity requirement.
Right.
So that was the biggest thing I wanted to test was, well, now if they buy 10 cards and 2 don't qualify for the coupon, does the coupon not apply? But it does, just not to those 2 cards. The other 8 cards would get the discount.
Okay.
So I liked that. That was exactly what I was going for. So that's what I changed to.
Okay. That makes
sense. And that
might
not work for anybody else. And, that's not necessarily something I share all the time, but I felt like it was, there's a broad enough understanding of that where, everybody could try to maybe apply that to whatever works for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the buy 10, get 10 is a bad coupon. I think it's a great coupon because you're right. You get basically the higher dollar stuff is what gets paid for.
Right.
I just don't like the quantity.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, essentially it's everything you're getting is, 50% off because your total order is like half of,
Right.
what it was. You get a little bit more the higher dollar items they buy, right? But because they got to pay for the highest priced items first, and then the discount applies. But yeah, the volume amount at 20 is touchy. So
And I kind of think in a lot of cases that's going to be too many cards to ask for. I
mhm,
feel like I have more buyers that could easily find 10 cards.
mhm,
Let's take Bobby Witt for example, right? Because I just bought a
yeah,
bunch of him, and he's been a hot seller for me lately. I don't know that I have like 25 good different Bobby Witt cards in my store you could buy.
yeah,
Because I buy them, they sell fast, and he's a relatively newer player. It's not like I have cards from the '80s of him or anything.
yep,
So I'm like, but 10, I could definitely cover 10.
mhm,
So you could go in and buy like two of my better Bobby Witt cards at $7.99. The ones that you're really desiring for your collection. You could easily find 8 more Bobby Witts to fill
yeah,
out that order.
yeah,
So do you want to sell as many cards as possible in an order? Of course, but you have to have a buyer that wants to do that too.
yeah,
I don't know if I go into a store and I'm buying a cheap item. Okay, well, let's say a candy bar, for example. If they had a deal out there where it said buy 10 candy bars, you get them for this price. If I really like that candy bar and it's a real good offer, I would consider that, right?
yeah,
You throw a couple in the fridge, you're good to go. If it says buy 20, and now I'm like, Jesus, I don't even have room for that. Like it's kind of the Costco effect, right? Like
yeah,
there's good deals on stuff at Costco, but do I want 50 of them? And where am I going to put them? And that kind of thing. Um,
yeah. I
so
don't know
I
if
don't know. I
that's
feel
so
like
much
10
of an
kind of
issue with
starts
cards.
for me, and what I'm trying to do. I think 10's kind of that cutoff of expectation. No, somebody can easily come in and buy 20 cards. It's not like they can't
Right.
do that.
Mhm.
I'm just not. I don't know that I want to put that qualifier on there.
Yeah.
I just had somebody buy 600 Bo Jackson cards for me the other night.
Yeah.
What was it, 600 or 200? No, it was 600. 600 Bo Jackson cards.
Well, the last
Yeah,
time I
yeah,
ran my coupons, I did it differently. I think I did buy 10 or more, get X amount off. And then I would get, 80, 90, 100 card orders that sometime came out of it. Um, so the way this is structured, not and shame on me, not that I designed it this way, but now that I'm looking at it, I basically put a governor on order size by doing it the way I did it.
right.
Because it's buy 10, get 10 free, right? So um, that defines a 20 card order.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's a 20 card order,
yeah.
however you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part of that didn't never really appealed to me. So I'm like, well, how do I get paid on the higher priced cards still? Because that's the attraction as a seller to the buy 10 get 10, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so how do I still do that but keep it at 10? And this is the solution I found, and it seems to be very effective. Um, and like I said, on certain cards that maybe I would price at $5, I can protect myself, list it at $6 and
Yeah.
keep it out of the coupon and just try to get an offer or try to get a full price because it's a
Right.
card that turns, an Otani insert, for example, or something like that.
Yeah.
A Diamante Judge card I just picked up today out of a dollar box. Like, I don't want that to sell for $2.50. That's not enough money.
Yeah.
Even though I'm making profit on every card that sells in that order, I believe I can get the $6 or the $7 for that card. So,
Mm.
um, I've set myself up into a better position for the higher priced cards. I know we're still talking $6-7, but
Yeah.
I can put myself out of the coupon a lot easier than I could before by
Sure.
reducing the highest value amount and things like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
so anybody who's thought about that or looking at dollar, no, you could even slim it from there. You could say it's only $1.99 cards or $1.99 to $2.99. Um, but I'm okay at. There's a lot of cards I like that Robin Yount card, right? I would have bought that. I'm sure you bought that out of a 50-cent box, right?
I
Probably.
think I pack pulled that actually.
Oh well,
Yeah. So
I
20
see
cents.
cards like that
And,
in a 50-cent box. Okay, so I buy it for 50 cents, and I get $5 for it. I'm fine with that, right?
yeah.
If it sells in a coupon at 250, I'm still going from 50 cents to 250 on it.
Mm-hmm.
So in 99% of the $4.99 cases, I'd be okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want some cards with velocity to be applicable to the coupon too.
Yeah.
Because if you pull everything out of it, there's no real drive for a customer to buy into the coupon either.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Mine is you can buy anything in the store for the first 10, but the free ones then come in under. I think I have it set at like 375 or something like that. Anything under 375, you can add in there for the discount. So
Interesting. Why 375? Why not $4 or?
Yeah, originally I was gonna do 399, but then I kind of thought about it and I was like, well, I want to get my 399 on those cards, and if they're half off and I'm at $2, then I'm basically selling $1.99 cards, and I was trying to bring my average order value up and bring up my inventory. So I wanted to keep the list price a little higher before I
and I think that's what it comes down to is a pricing strategy, right? So when I look at my $3.99 cards, they're actually $2 cards.
Yeah.
So when it sells at half price at $2, I got market.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no right or wrong. You're just finding your place. You got to make sure that it's something the customer is going to want. Otherwise, it's a complete waste of everybody's time.
Yeah.
If it's not going to get you any sales.
Well, we got a couple late questions come in. You think we can answer them quickly?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it. That's bedtime.
Right. Cardboard Finds has joined us and says, is it true eBay favors free shipping? Absolutely, it does. And do you think sales will drop if you try to sell cards with 99-cent shipping?
Yes.
It does. Yeah. I mean, it's not even feels like it would. That's been proven out by plenty of sellers over time. And eBay itself encourages you to do free shipping.
And honestly, it's easier because you're going to have to do like a combined shipping. Like, let's say somebody wants 5 cards, you're not going to want to charge them $5, or they're not going to want to pay $5 shipping. So now you got to have like, okay, a quarter for each additional card and blah, blah, blah. It's actually just like a lot more hassle on the seller side. So, if you want to sell a card for $1, just make it $1.99 and do free shipping.
Right. That's
why. And on each card that they buy, they're still getting free shipping. You don't have to do like consolidated shipping prices and a bunch of junk like that. You just ship them out because you priced it in.
Yep. Absolutely. So hope that helps. Sean Barber joined us. He says, where did you get those storage cabinets? I'm having trouble finding anything like yours that are somewhat affordable.
Is he talking? I assume he's talking to me.
Yeah, with your sales videos, I'm sure he's seeing.
Yeah, they are fireproof cabinets. So I have 3 of them. The first 2, I kind of knew what I wanted, but I didn't know what I wanted. And I got sort of lucky because I kind of stumbled into them. Our sheriff's department in town here was getting rid of old furniture things and that, and I went to this thrift store that we frequent, and I saw them there, and I started kind of measuring the height, and I like the pull-out drawer and the little divider sliders and things like that. It's a card catalog is what it is. Mm-hmm. So this used to be in the sheriff's department. They would keep like their case file cards in there and stuff. You can imagine that. So it's mind-blowing to tell this to a kid, but as ironically enough, I found some like crime scene photos in it and stuff. So it was really weird. When I got it, there was still some like film. Like
I don't remember you telling me that before.
Yeah. So those film that film you could put on cards, so like it had the little tab, so you could put it in like a card catalog.
Yeah.
There was some of those in one of the drawers.
Wow.
Nothing like amazing or anything, just like random stuff. Anyway, so I kind of stumbled upon them, and then I found I looked at them and they're fireproof, which only goes so far. Obviously, if if that cabinet's exposed to fire for a long time, probably going to see some card damage, but you know, hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's better than putting it in a cardboard box for sure. And it could protect against water, you know, if water had to be sprayed in. But anyway, so I found those at that thrift shop. I think I paid $125 a piece for them, or maybe I got a deal buying both. I don't remember. They're heavy as hell. They're. I've moved them 3 times, and I don't advise ever moving them once because they're insane. Down 2 flights of stairs, too. Take all the drawers out if you're going to do that. But I found those two, so that kind of started it, and I just started the bag inventory. Just worked perfect with it. As you've seen in the videos. And then the third one, so Charlie and I had talked about this for a while, you know, like, hey, I found this one here, I found that one there. And I found this one down in Milwaukee, so a couple hours from my house. And it was just like a junk reseller type guy. And good price. I think I paid $165 for that one, is what I settled on. But you know, I had to drive down there and haul it and do all that. But there's some things. The first two cabinets are the exact same. This third one's a little different than the other one, but it functions the same, obviously. But there's some things I like about the newer one that I don't necessarily like about the other one, the older ones, and then there's some things about the older ones I don't like about the newer one. But yeah, as long as they're basically the drawer is tall enough that you can fit, you know, a stack of cards in it, you can kind of use anything. But I really want it. I know a lot of people use like different IKEA drawer setups. You know, we've seen that in the Discord. People have posted that stuff. It's a great idea. There's nothing wrong with that. That works too. I liked the heavy metal. You know, I don't have to worry about. I open it and then I slam it shut, like you hear that in the videos and stuff. Yeah, they're good, solid. You know, drawers. Nothing's gonna happen to them. And you know, I like the little sliding dividers. You know, as inventory shrinks in certain drawers, I can pull them up. And but yeah, I don't regret it at all. I think they work perfect for me. So yeah, as far as like finding them, check Facebook Marketplace. Check, you know, your local thrift places. These are things people are getting rid of now. Like card catalogs are not a thing. But it's going to be short lived. Like, and the time might be past already that it's too hard to find them now. But kind of just stumbled upon it right at a time. It was like right after COVID. So all these companies were doing everything digitally now. And, you know, they're doing all their interviews over the computer and stuff. So they just started, and they had time. So they started just getting rid of all these card catalog files and stuff. And that's what I use. Now you can buy cabinets like that brand new, but you're looking at like $1,500 to $2,500 minimum plus shipping. And I didn't really care if they were new. You know, the aesthetic in the office isn't as fantastic because of that, but I don't really care. I just work down here. So
Yeah.
to me, it was more the functionality, the protection, the sturdiness, the ease of, you know, which it makes it for me to pull cards and put cards back in. And I've been very pleased with that.
Yeah. Cardboard Finds has a follow-up I think we can address real quick. I sell Pokemon and Magic cards, so very low value cards, but I like bulk. I like variety, but I see people selling these same cards at 99-cent free shipping. What would make someone buy my same card at $1.99? So, first of all, you'd be surprised, but if they're selling on eBay, it is an indisputable fact that they cannot make money on a single card sale at 99-cent price point and free shipping, because it costs you a minimum 74 cents to ship today and a 30-cent fixed fee for eBay fees plus the variable, and that takes you over 99. They can only make money out of bulk sales where they combine sales together to a buyer, but there are other platforms where that may work. What would you say to that, Adam?
Yeah, I agree. And there's actually even more fees than that. So you've got your cost of goods in there. You've got your materials to ship it out in, you know, your label, your envelope, all those things obviously cost some money.
Yeah.
So what they're trying to do is form a loss leader, right? So they go, I saw all these at 99 cents free shipping. Somebody comes in and buys 5 or 6 cards.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're paying the 1 74-cent stamp, so they're making some money, a little bit of money on the other cards that
Right.
sell along with it. But yeah, if you go in there and literally buy each one individually that you want, and the seller doesn't combine the shipping, they're screwed. Like
They're taking a bath. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, even if you're getting these cards at a penny, at 99 cents, I'm gonna say you're losing at least like 25 or 30 cents
Mm-hmm.
per card.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing the work and all that kind of stuff. So I don't really like to create a loss leader. I think the coupon's the better way to go because you can sell just like what Charlie and I were talking about. Let's say you have 10 cards somebody buys at $1.99 per card. They're getting it for 99 cents free shipping, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they have to buy 10 in order to get that.
Right.
You're setting the model of, okay, well, I'm willing to basically give you 1 or 2 cards for free, right? Because that's covering your cost of goods, your shipping supplies, your postage, or whatever.
Yep.
And then you're making the margin or the profit on all the other 8 cards.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you're doing. It's in that case, like when I explain it that way, it's almost like buy 8 cards, get 2 free.
Yeah.
Right? When we were talking like the 10 and 10. But yeah, so I don't advise that. I would never make that my pricing model. I can see if like you're trying to build a customer base or you're trying to get feedbacks, because I've seen that with new sellers. They do 99-cent free shipping just to get a bunch of sales and get some followers and some feedbacks and stuff, especially now that you get automatic feedback. So there might be value in doing that for a short period of time in that instance. Take the loss. You're basically buying your feedback, right?
Yep.
But yeah, long term, no, that's not a moneymaker. Somebody told me once, like, because I used the candy bar analogy, right? So I got a message once that said, when the grocery store sells a candy bar, they sell it at a loss. And I'm like, that is not true at all. I mean, you can go to Sam's and buy like a big case thing of candy bars, and the price that the stores are selling it for individually, it's way more than what you're paying there. And they're obviously getting it for an even better deal.
I mean, there is such a thing as a loss leader.
Yes.
But that's
typically candy bars isn't one of them.
Yeah. And it's typically more of a promotional item for a specified period of time.
Think of like doorbuster deals, right? On Black Friday, toasters for $10. I don't know that that's necessarily a loss, but it's certainly not like a profit, profitable thing. But you go in to get the toaster, and then you also buy the shirt and the jacket and the the other gift item.
Margin on all those other things covers the cost of the loss leader.
Right. So if they don't make any money on the one item, so it's kind of like our coupon, right? So they're giving up the toaster when you buy the other 9 items. Well, I'm giving up the 1.99 card because you're buying the other 9 cards that I make all the profit on.
Right. All right. Well, that's our show, folks. Baseball edition of Hobby or No kept us honest. Goats floated. I'm not sure how that worked its way into the conversation. Everybody got crapped on at least once in their life. The World Baseball Classic is on deck, and the Whatnot experiments continue. Adam's fine-tuning coupons, testing lots even, and even letting a Favre PMG go. So I also flipped a nice Jordan out of Space Jam this week. Yeah, there it is. Same hobby lesson as always, folks. Adapt fast and keep moving cards. We'll see y'all next time.
Can't sell what you don't list. Next week, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Every Wednesday. We'll see you then.